You're listening to the Beans and Dice podcast, a podcast about how we game.
Hey, folks. Welcome to the Beans and Dice podcast, Thursday Night Live call-in show. I'm Carlos.
I'm Wayne.
Playing the role of Rob. Rob is trying to get himself connected. We see a lot of connection issues there on his side, but we figured we'd start the stream and he'd pop in as soon as he gets going. It is Thursday Night Live call-in show night, and there he is. There's the man of the hour.
Oh, I'm here.
Rob's here. We're all here, and we're ready to go. Let's talk about board games tonight, gentlemen.
Woo!
Tonight's going to be a standard episode in that we do our...
Standard? Do we do anything standard around here? There's no standard around here.
It's always a low standard.
Lowered expectations. We have our Twig, our This Week in Gaming. We're going to go into some news topics. So we've got some news articles to banter about and hopefully hear from y'all on. And we'll get into our other geeky goodness. Just a few items there, which has been a lot of fun. A lot of controversy out there in the OGG.
Oh, yeah. Stuff going on.
I see some, Winter Olympic stuff I'm sure I'm going to want to talk about as well. As we enjoy that.
Cheating
OGG.
Canadians. Is that what
America's top hat. Let's open up the phone line so we can get started. 813-618-7099 is the number, and that's what's different about us here. Here at Beans and Dice, we are a live call-in show where we don't just talk to you online. We don't just chat with you. We hear from you, actually hear from you as you call in and talk to us about gaming.
Better hear from you. Call in. Light those lines up.
Phone line. The call counter is currently at 0. So as you call, we'll update the call counter to reflect those calls that are coming in.
Nice.
Hey, Rob, Wayne and I kind of went through our Twig. Was wondering how your Twig was this past week. I know y'all had some games played this week. You want to lead us off with one of the games that y'all got played maybe together?
You said you went over, so you went over before the show.
Before, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In preparation for the show.
How much did I miss? I just missed like a minute.
You're an it's
we
like
yeah. Let me pull up my list here real quick. Here it is. Okay. So we did. We had our next session of the Pandemic Legacy Season 0, and I see our next session. The first one we played. It seems like several weeks ago now. Man, what was it? 3-4 weeks ago. We had a little bit of a layoff there, but anyway, we played just the intro, so it was kind of a lighter mission, and we actually only completed one of the 2 objectives, and so we got serious about it this time. And we're not going to drop any spoilers here, but we played the first month. We played January, and there were 2 objectives in January, and we beat them both. I won't say comfortably, but we beat them both, and I felt we had a little room to spare, so it was a good sign.
I think we beat both objectives with about 6 turns left, which is pretty hefty for a pandemic. So
yeah, I'm not gonna get big from my britches though, because
because I'm sure it'll get way tougher.
Yeah, anybody who's played the epic, or not the epic, the legacy games know that they kind of scale as you go along. So if you beat a mission, you beat all the objectives in a mission, it lowers what they call your funding for what you can acquire in your next mission. If you do poorly, then you have to replay the month. You can replay each month up to once, or so 2 total plays, 1 replay. But if you replay it and you failed it, then they will give you extra resources to try to beat it next time. So it's kind of cool that it scales a little bit from game to game, month to month, to try to either penalize you a little bit or help you a little bit, depending on how well you and your group are doing. But
kind of reminds me of XCOM, the video game, where like the worse you were doing, the more money the governments threw at you because they needed your help to defend themselves.
Yeah, get it right.
If you were doing really well, they were starting to hold back those funds. Like, you guys are fine. The aliens are fine. Nothing wrong here.
They instituted like the sliding scale SAT. So as you got the questions right, it got really hard, and then all of a sudden you realize, like, that was a really easy question. Like, how many did I just get wrong?
It's helping you a little bit. So, but no, this is it's been great. We're only again in the first full mission, but I'm going to put this on par so far, which is a tiny bit played with season 1, which Carlos and I and my dad and Mikey completed. We played that all the way through, and that one was really good. It's hard to compare because that one you didn't know kind of what a pandemic legacy game was. And so everything was cool. Everything was new. Now that we played all of one. We played half of two, or maybe a little less than half of two, but we got a little ways into two and now playing season 0. I wasn't crazy about 2. I don't know, Carlos, I don't think you were super crazy about 2 either.
I think we started the Water World. Pandemic Water World.
Yep.
Effectively, the Kevin Costner movie, just as good.
Yep. You had to branch out and find new places because they were all overrun. And so it was kind of like post-apocalyptic, and you're going across the oceans, trying to open up new maps and new areas, North America, South America, whatever. But a lot of time on the water there. So we've got maybe a third, if that, of the way through that one. I don't think any of us were crazy loving it. And that's kind of what I had heard, that Pandemic Season 2, Legacy Season 2, was the weakest of the 3. And then there's some debate between 1 and 0, which people like most. I think most like 1, but again, I've heard it's because everything was new. Prize, you didn't know how the system worked, but so far 0 is really cool. The Cold War, Russia, USSR, US, and then you've got some neutral stuff out there, and you're creating these little teams running around trying to keep your cover while you're investigating. And I won't give any of the story away, but it's really cool so far. And the little passports you create with your portfolios and stickers and all that, we talked about that before.
Yeah.
But
I mean, spoiler alert: season 0 goes into season 1. So I mean,
yeah. Well, so you kind of know how it ends.
You kind of know how it ends.
Big spoiler. Oh, yeah.
I think season 1 was more relatable, right? Because it was zombie-esque like disease in there.
Yeah.
So especially at the time, it's modern day setting, disease fighting, more relatable. Season 2 really went way off the rails. Like the world is now covered in water,
future or something like that.
Right?
Yeah, and it changed the way you play the game a little bit too. Some of the, in the first one they tell you if you know Pandemic, you can jump right in. Just maybe practice regular Pandemic a couple times, and then you'll know exactly what you're doing coming to this one. Season 2, they were like, okay, we're changing half the rules, so here's a couple intro scenarios to ramp you up on all the new rules and the new stuff you're doing. So yeah, it was definitely a twist. So anyway. Yep. So we got to do that. I'll hit the other 2 real quick. We played 2 real light games after that. Daryl needed to bug out after the first one, so we played the Pandemic. And then, I'm sorry, he stayed with us for Biblios. We did play a 4-player game of Biblios. So Carlos, big fan of Biblios. It was on the shelves there at Samantha's place, so we grabbed that. We were looking for something quick and light. We taught it to Daryl, and
Sam. I don't think she had played it before.
I thought she said she played it a long time ago, maybe, but maybe not. Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
Daryl knew how to play. He's played before because I bought his copy actually.
Oh, okay. It was you that had played a while back, right?
Yeah.
You played with us. Yeah, you played with us several times. Anyway, but that's always a good one. So that was fun. Getting that back to the table took us maybe 45 minutes at the most, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Yeah. So we blew through that real quick. Then Daryl took off, and then I guess the kind of highlight for me, this doesn't go better than I guess Pandemic, but I got to play a new game, which I always get excited about playing new games. And this one I've seen a bunch on BGA, and I've always been kind of curious, but I've never jumped into one. So I'm glad I got it tabled. But it's Mlem, M-L-E-M. Yeah, so Space Agency, but it's Space Kitties. It's cats in space, and it's.
I know you're not a fan of cats, so I can see why you stayed away from it.
Yeah. I definitely don't like the cats, but this one was cool. Celestia, Carlos. This is Celestia for the 2000s. So this is definitely a reskinned. It's press your luck, but instead of cards in Celestia, here you're rolling dice and you're trying to match numbers, and you eliminate. You start with a handful of dice, and then as you roll them, I think going to bring it up here. But for those of you that are able to see at home, but you're rolling a handful of dice, and then there's some numbers on the board at each stop that you're trying to match. And if you match them, you get to advance, and it depends on the numbers that you roll, how far along the track you advance. But whatever dice you use, if I use the ones, let's say, I will advance along the track 1 pip for each, or 1 spot for each pip. So if I rolled 3 ones and then some other numbers, and I choose to use the ones, those ones get eliminated. So I can't use those dice anymore. There is a dice side that's like a little meteor, and if you roll that, it will match a meteor that's on some of the stops along the track, and that'll give you, depending on the meteor on the board, there will show you whether it's worth 1, 2, or 3 pips at that particular stop. If you use the meteors, though, they always come back to your hand. And so you want to try to roll those meteors and match those numbers because they, or actually there's no numbers, but you're trying to roll those meteors to match what's on the board because those dice, if you use 1 or 2 or 4 of them, they come back to you every roll. And you do go down to a minimum of 1 die. So as you advance, even if you use your last die, you get 1 die if you decide to keep pressing your luck and keep going. But just like Celestia, you can jump off. Everybody's in a boat together. There's a captain.
One person is usually the captain, right?
Yep. There's a captain in the front.
Captain, rolling the dice, moving along. Yep.
And then everybody has an option down the line. Every stop, you go down and ask from the captain down, do you want to jump off or stay on? Jump off or stay on. So exactly.
So I could be like Padme and be like, Anakin, where you're going, I can't follow.
Exactly.
Jump out.
And in Celestia, they had cards that had some special abilities on them that allowed you to, to parachute off to get a safe landing if the boat crashed or whatever. In this one, you have a little board, a player board that has, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tokens on it. And at the beginning of every round, every player, starting with the captain going clockwise, chooses one of those special ability tokens out of their 8 and places them in the ship. And so when you jump out, what you do is you just take your little token out and move it. But the tokens allow you to, if you stop on a planet, there's one that gives you 2 times whatever the planet score is. If you stop on a moon, it gives you 2 times the moon score. There's the parachute one that if it crashes, it still allows you to go ahead and land at whatever spot you crashed at. There's a 1 that the captain can choose to use as a 1. So if you need to roll a 1 at this spot, you don't roll any 1s. You can flip that 1 tile over and use it as a free extra die with a 1 pip on it. So, but everybody chooses, and then you go down. If the captain jumps off, everybody slides up this little rocket ship, and so the next person in order can be the captain, continue to press their luck if they want to. So, yeah, but I like it better than Celestia. I think Celestia had some rough edges, and the cards and things. To be honest, I played it so much the cards are wearing out. They weren't great card stock or whatever. But this has nice wooden components. You can see there the little wooden ship, and the cardboard's good quality. And then rolling dice is always fun when you're playing a pressure luck game. So
I do remember Celestia was a good family game for y'all. Do I remember that right?
Yep.
It was a family game for y'all. Is Melm?
Malim?
Yes.
Malim. That one.
Is this game on that same level, or did they step it up the difficulty?
It's
family level.
About the same. There's a few more decisions, but it's definitely still family level. Like Sam's youngest was hanging on the edge of the table the whole time and was watching us play a little bit. So
she's played it, I believe. Yeah, played it a bunch. So.
Okay, great. That's good to see.
Yep, she knew what all the abilities were, and for the most part knew the game. So yeah, it was. I'm glad I played it, and then Wayne immediately set up a game on BGA, so we're playing one digitally now, and I'm liking it pretty much just as much. I like rolling the dice, and actually I did a crazy thing. I guess I still haven't seen it in my 1.5 games now, but on my very first set of rolls, I went all the way to the end. So you know how hard it is to do that in Celestia, Carlos. It's about the same here. Yeah. It is freaking tough. I was the only one who did it the whole game. I did it on my first come out set of rolls. I went all the way down the track and scored the top amount. So
it's like craps.
You're like, beginner's luck. Yeah. But anyway, so those were the 3 we played. What was it? Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
A couple nights ago. So I'll give up the mic here and let you talk about some of your new ones. But
I'll run through mine real quick.
Yeah.
I've only got 3 total for the Twig this week. The one that I'm gonna bring up first is gonna be Final Girl. Final Girl. I shared how I picked up some Final Girl, and can't stop picking up some Final Girl because it is just.
Don't tell your wife you're picking up Final Girls.
No, it is the best solo game I have played this year, and I think I said that last year too when you taught it to me last year. That it's still, I'm playing some Dorf Romantic. I'm still like Final Girl is still such a good crunchy solo game where you don't feel too luck dependent because there's still decisions to make on cards to buy and cards to play. So I recommend it for those that like solo games, but get turned off when a solo game is mostly dice, or if a solo game is mostly puzzle, right? Like Dorf Romantic, mostly puzzle. It's just really mostly a puzzle game. The series of solitaire games that I showed y'all, like War in Virginia, 1862, mostly dice, right? This one I feel has a good balance between the dice and the cards. I feel like I've been screwed on both sides. Either the dice screwed me or the cards I chose and played that turn screwed me. Either way, it's a balance.
I need to table this again. It got a little bit of a setup, which kind of annoys me, but and it's hard.
It's hard, yes. And you saw those play mats, so I ordered a set of those and wait for those to come in.
Yep, I have the play mats.
I'm hoping that helps with setup too, to just kind of make it easier, just
kind
of organization.
Mm-hmm.
But it plays in less than like 45 minutes.
Sometimes much less than that.
Many times.
I've had games that I've lost in 10 minutes.
I remember my event card came up and it was Buddy System or something. And every time Hans killed someone, and if there was another victim, if there was exactly 2 victims in that space, they both died.
Yeah.
So for one attack, he's killing 2 victims at a time. That game was over in 20 minutes, bro. The camp setup card was all pairs. Sometimes they'll do like 6 in one place and like a couple here and there. No, this one was like everybody was buddied up out. So he was just running around the board, just
butchering
hacking these campers.
No, in all seriously, I know you, Carlos, but don't buy anything from season 1 because I have all of season 1 and you can borrow a chunk of it.
Good luck.
As much as you want. And I also have the Santa one too. So
I'm struggling to understand what is for each season. But I did want the base one with the Hans one.
The Camp Happy Trails.
Camp Happy Trail. I wanted a copy of that at home. But I did stop buying because I think we do need to get together and kind of list out who has what. Sure. And then we can really kind of spread that out now because I want the new Terminator one, the one with like Sarah Connor on the front.
That's cool.
Oh, that one looks good.
I've only got season 1, and so if Wayne's got all of season 1, then he's got everything I got. So
yeah.
One thing I did learn this week about Final Girl Camp Happy Trails. Did y'all know the tie-in with Die Hard there?
I don't know. I don't think
so. What are
the
last words?
Character.
What are the last words that he says to him when he throws him off the building?
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yippee-ki-yay. Yeah.
Happy Trails, Han.
Oh, Happy Trails. Hans.
Happy Trails.
Happy
Get it?
Okay.
Hans is the killer. Camp Happy Trail.
Nice.
I found out in one of some random forum on BGA while looking up, or BGG while looking up strategy. While trying to figure out strategy, I found some random forum chat about that. I'm like, that's hilarious.
They did their homework.
Yeah, I have everything for season 1. All the figures, the mats, the expansion packs. I have the mini like bees mission one where it's like the killer bees thing, and then I have the Necronomicon, which has the dice that lets you roll and mix match stuff. So yeah.
So Final Girl so far best solo I've played this year.
Nice.
Also got some games of Foundations of Rome and Foundations of Metropolis in.
You played more Metropolis.
Yes, I did. Well, Metropolis travels, so I took that one with me to church.
Well, they both travel. Come on. You just put the Foundations of Rome under your arm and carry it on into church.
I thought about it. So much so that I put it away, like back into the box, and had it on the side of the table so that on the way out I can take it with me. But ultimately, I ended up taking Foundations of Metropolis with me to church, and I had planned on playing it solo at church. But one of my buddies, his Bible study got canceled, so he showed up, and I got to teach it to him. We played a 2-player game of it. But this is the Foundations of Metropolis, which is exactly the same as Foundations of Rome base game. Just in a smaller package. It's set up so easy. I think, Rob, you and I did that one time live where we set it up in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I got to set it up right there and play. But I also unboxed the Foundations of Rome box, the big box, and got that to the table. But that's with the solo box. This is the whole reason I bought that big thing. Is because I wanted this Gardens of Ceres expansion, which gives you the David Turksey design solo set. I mean, he's like one of the epic solo designers right now. When it comes to solo design, he's one of the people you call. And I got to say, this was simple, easy to set up, and doesn't allow for all the expansions to be used, right? You have to play it with the base game, but it does allow for the Monuments expansion. So you can use the Monuments and still get some solo play in it. It took me a little while to kind of figure out how the AI works, but there's no flow chart. There's no table, no PowerPoint. It's just flip a card, and whatever card you flip will tell you which of the cards on the table you're going to activate. That card gives you an action, either take a card from the display, right? So one of the cards that are for sale, based on an algorithm at the bottom of that card. Every card has a different reason of which one to prioritize, or bribe, and it makes you put coins on the cards that are in the market increasing the cost for me. So what it does is it makes it harder for me to buy one of the cards by adding cost to it, or expand. So what it does is it now starts putting tiles on the board, lot markers, effectively using its stack of lots that it has to start expanding its garden. So the theme behind it is nature is trying to take Rome back. So these gardens, these grassy areas, this nature is growing into Rome and blocking up those lots, and that's what creates that difficulty for you in deciding where you can buy, what you can buy, where you can place. So just as fast as regular Rome, regular Foundations, and easy. Recommend it as a solo game. It's just hard to find. It's something, and I ended up having to buy the big box to be able to get it.
I hadn't even heard of it, but yeah. Mm.
And then finally, thanks to Wayne, one of my hauls for this week in my Twig is the Dr. Finn's Book of Solo Strategy and Word Games. I've only been able to flip through it. I haven't had an opportunity to sit down and play any or read the rules for it. But I can show y'all a little bit of what it looks like inside if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm hoping that I can get some time to dedicate brain space to it.
Yep. We also got Mitchell was he mentioned the BJ's podcast with Dr. Finn. So, but yeah, it was good. It was a good interview. So if for those of you who don't follow Board Game Gumbo podcast, and he had a good interview with Dr. Finn. So that's cool.
All right, so it really is almost like a coloring book paper material. So you can see it's like easy to read, and then it goes it has a table of contents of all the different games in here, but it kind of gives you an idea of how to use the book. Then as you go to certain games, it'll have the rules for the game, and then it'll have multiple sheets that you can use to play it multiple times. So it's not like you can do this over and over again forever. I haven't seen in here where we have the rights to copy these. A lot of these books will sometimes put in the bottom, copyright approved to copy with a Xerox machine. Throwing my age out there. So,
Xerox.
Kids, they don't know what Xerox is. But this is an example of one of the games. This game is called, my hands are so dry, Command Run Mission 1. And it uses D6s, so it tells you what components you need to bring with you to play the game. And it gives you an overview of the game, how a turn works, and then it gives you all those sheets. So there's some farm games in here. Some word games, so Wordle style games, crosswords. Here's leftover
letters,
leftover letters. Some more of a word style games. I think it was $15, Wayne. We found it online.
Yeah. So did they connect it all, or is they just all individual things?
It's a bunch of different games.
Okay, so there's not anything running through it or anything. Okay.
Here's an example of the table of contents. You can see the different games that are available to you.
Okay,
it's pretty cool. I mean, it's you could take that with you if you're traveling and you're traveling solo. You could just like Carlos, you're going to be on a business trip. Take that with you, and you just it's kind of cool.
Yeah, next week I have to fly out for work, and this is going with me because I don't like flying. I'm very much afraid of flying. Come to find out, the airport I'm going to is a very small airport. So when I went and booked my ticket, and it asked me to select a seat, and I'm looking at it, and it's like, wait a minute, this row only has 3 seats in it. I don't understand. Am I in the colored section? Where am I? Is there more sections they're not giving me access to? Did I buy the steerage ticket? Yeah. So I pulled up the data on the flight, and then I pulled up the type of plane, and then I Googled the image of the plane, and I realized I found out it is the second smallest plane in American Airlines fleet. I'm a little nervous right now.
Yeah.
I don't like to fly, and I don't know if I want to fly in something that small.
Probably a prop plane, not even a jet, right?
No, it is a jet. It is
a jet.
It is a jet.
Okay.
But I will be bringing this with me to try to keep my mind distracted.
Okay.
Nice. We got Musar saying he received his copy of Shackleton Base, and he's playing his first game of it. Great. And he's very interesting with interesting choices you have to make. Hopefully that's a good sign. Hopefully
beautiful.
You enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's the key. I think that we shared that I shared is it's so many consequences.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Okay, he froze up for a second.
What I loved about Shackleton Base was that every decision had so many consequences to it. You really had to think through, if I put this astronaut there, who's going to win this row? and then at the lunar retrieval phase, who's gonna get the dude, right? Like all these decision points in making it. So I'm glad you're liking it too.
Big fan, yeah. So cool.
That's it for my twig.
All right. Well, I mean, most of my twig was covered because Rob and I have actually played most of the games together in the last week.
So I'll let you take the ones from the game day.
Yeah. So like we went to a game day. I'll start with the one that we're not going to be reviewing in the near future, but so we played 2 games at the game day. It was Valentine's Day, so Rob and I had to leave. But the second game we played that day was Pulsar 2849. Which is one that I had not played ever. I had always heard great things about. And everyone always told me I'd like it. And then I think Rob had played it once when he first got into gaming and kind of was like, meh on it.
Yeah.
But then Janella and Chris taught it to us. And we played a 4-player game of it. And I was blown away by how cool it was. Such a cool game.
They not to cut you off here, but they explained it at the beginning. They compared it to, and I've never heard this comparison, but it fit. They said it was Castles of Burgundy in space, and I'll let Wayne dive into that a little more.
That's a pretty high promise to make there.
Yes, and it definitely kind of fit. So let me get to a good picture here if I can get to it. But so you have this board, and basically what the background story is, you're like a new solar system has been discovered, and there's all these pulsars, and your corporations from Earth basically, and you're all rushing out there to try to build rings around these pulsars and power them, or put these gyrodynes in there that generates the power that you can then take the power and use, for things. So at the top of the board here, you have these dice. And what happens is each round, right over here, you roll the dice and they go into the buckets there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then there's a draft, and it's a snaking draft. And so you'll draft a die, and you're going to draft 2 dice. But depending on where you go, you can kind of see this. Let me zoom in a bit here. We've got this little midpoint. If you draft above it, or below it, sorry, lower die, you actually move up on these other tracks, or if you draft higher dice, you move down, and that affects turn order, and that affects some resource cubes you get at the end of the round. After that, after you've drafted your 2 dice, then in turn order, you're going to use those dice just like you would in Castles of Burgundy, where you have the pip value of the die is where you're going to buy different things. So you can buy these little things that help you roll up or roll down. Let me see. This isn't the
so like picture, the workers.
Yeah, you can buy the workers. You can also buy the gyrodynes, which you can use to fund your your pulsars. You can use the die to travel around, and if you land on a planet, you flip over and discover a planet, you may be able to use resources from that planet. And then as each round opens, this bottom right here, there's like these patents, and you can patent things which give you abilities. Some of them are ongoing abilities. Some of them are end-game scoring abilities. Some of them are temporary abilities, like you can turn dice into other dice and use them. And it's pointsality, right? You're getting victory points from these patents. You're getting victory points from discovering planets. And as you power up these pulsars, you're getting every round, you're getting points based on whether it's a 1, 2, or 3 point pulsar. You also have these kind of end-game bonuses where, let me zoom in over here. If you meet the criteria on the top, you're going to get a certain amount of victory points. And then based upon that other track where when you're drafting dice, moving up and down on, you get these like science cubes.
Just kind of gray cubes, yeah.
Gray cubes. And you can then use those cubes to power up the victory points from these end game objectives. And these are modular, and the patents are modular. So every game you can kind of mix them up. And the game is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 9 rounds. So you're going to draft 2 dice. So you have 18 turns, 18 actions, but then you can use the dice sometimes to buy additional actions. And it's not as complex as Castle of Burgundy, because in Castle of Burgundy you have you have the yellow tiles and the green tiles and all these different, and how they interact. But it gives you that feel of it because you're drafting the dice and you're using those dice to take your actions based upon the pip value. But it's a fast playing game that is thinky. And it's a bit of a pointsality, and it was so good. I immediately went out and
As needless to say, he required a copy a couple nights later.
So
now, tell me about that yellow droplet. How is it decided where it goes in that range to create that dividing line?
Every time you roll the dice and every round you roll the dice and you put it out, the yellow droplet will move to the median. So if you roll all sixes, it'll move up. If you roll a good spread, it'll stay towards the middle. Now, when you pick, so if in this picture here, that yellow droplet's at the 4, if you draft a 1, you're going to go 1, 2, 3 spots up on one of those tracks. If you draft a 6,
which is bad,
you're going to go down 2 on a track. And if you go so far down on a track, you start losing victory points.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like that decision space that you have in White Castle, where when you go to place a die, if you place lower than the required amount, you have to pay money. If you place higher than, you get money back. So it adds decision benefits and negatives. I like
drafting,
that.
And it's a snake draft.
And everything you do in the game, just like Castles of Burgundy, is based on the numbers that you roll. So every action on your personal player board, which are asymmetric, your personal player board has different abilities one-time abilities that you can pop by placing dice there. The patents that you go after, you place dice on certain numbers to do the patents. There's actually, I don't know what they're called. There's 3 side things that refresh.
Those are the end game victory points.
Oh no, the ones that where you the dice things that match together. I don't know what those are, what they call them, but there's another. I'm looking for them in the pictures there, but you can spend dice to acquire those, and then there's a little mini game where there's half of a die on one side of each one, and if you match it up with another half of a die and you complete a die figure, you get an extra die and you count the number of pips. So like one half the die had 3, and then I matched up with one that has 1 on the other side, and when they match, as soon as I match them together, I get an extra die of, in that case, 3 and 1 would be 4. So they have this one here that if you're able to see at home, 2 and 1. Once you fulfill them and place sometimes you just place 1 die to fulfill them. Sometimes you have to put 2 or 3 die on them. And so you can acquire it just by placing the first one, and it comes into your play area, and then it's yours to try to complete throughout the game. And you might have to place a second or third dice in later rounds of a different number. Once you complete it, you flip it. It usually gives you a one-time bonus. And then again, you got that little die matching thing that gives you a bonus die once you complete another one.
Now, Rob, the image you showed, for those that are listening, the image you showed looked like a space freighter, right? So, and there's a spot to put your die on there, right?
You start with those flipped over.
They're on the other side, but
on the other side, and then as you put dice on them, you'll complete them and flip them over to make this. And as you're completing them, you're scoring victory points.
Can I keep chaining onto that space freighter? Because I see the back of that has another half.
Yep. They keep going. So it's kind of cool. It's another little side thing that you're doing. So
another way to get, and then we played actually with your own personal boards, where you can put dice on your personal boards to power up things, and you get the board. One side is better for traveling the galaxy, and one side is better for patents. And so that's like an optional add-on that you can do, and it didn't really add much complexity to the game, but it was good. And what's crazy is it's weighted pretty heavy. Like BGG has its weight at a 334, so that's probably about right. But it was good. It definitely 60 to 90 minutes was accurate. We were done in an hour because like Rob and I were both like, we really need to leave at 4.
Yeah.
And with Teach, I think we started at like 2 something. So with Teach, it was an hour and
a little over an hour with a Teach. Yeah. But
it's your buddy Vlad Suchi,
Suchi,
Underwater Cities, right?
There you go. Yep, it's another good one. So first time I played, this was just a little above my complexity level. I think the first time I played, because it wasn't way back at the beginning, but I played it at Alex's old house, and he's been in his new house for 5-6 years, and so this was several years ago before that. So this was probably getting close to 10 years ago, and I was into gaming, but I was still not into heavy Euro type gaming. And this, I wouldn't necessarily say heavy Euro, but this one, the first time I played, I just wasn't catching on. I felt like I was lost most of the time. This time that I played as my second play, I liked it a lot. So I'm glad.
The other thing you can do is you can also spend your dice to travel throughout the galaxy. And if you pass through a planet, you discover it, and you put like your little disc on like an uninhabited planet. If you land on the little solar system, you can place your pip and get the benefit of that galaxy or little solar system, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the game, there's also a sliding scale of how many places you have pips on.
Visited, yeah.
And if you've visited 12 or 13 planets, it's like 35 points, which is huge. And that's what, like, I think Chris had done that, right? Where
Yes, he had a whole bunch of them. Yeah,
he had
at
a
least
whole
10 of
bunch,
them,
and
yeah.
like I knew that he was going to really catch up big. So like I
Mhm.
took one turn, used both my dice to move like 10, and I threw discs down on a bunch of planets as I ran by him, just to like, offset his victory points there. It was good.
Yeah, I want to double check, but if I remember, this was the game that the ending was remarkably
1
close.
point. I
Yeah.
won by a point.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna see what all the scores were. So, oh yeah, between all of us, the four of us, it was 146, 147, 161, 162. So I think we were all within, like, was it 16 points
Something like that, yeah.
of each other. So with game scores in the mid 150s, ish range, that's 16 points from first to fourth was not a big spread. So
Nope.
and we all
Yeah,
did things a little different. So there's a lot of different paths you can take in this
Yep.
to get points and to be competitive. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to playing it again. If you'd asked me after the first time I played it, I probably would have told you I would have never played it again. But I'm glad I did.
There's something with those components that looks familiar. There's something about those spaceships that kind of look like little noses.
They look a little bit like the ones in Gravwell.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
like I
that's
swear
what it
I've
is.
seen these like nose-looking spaceships before.
Yep, it's Gravwell, which is one of Mike's favorite games, and Dan always complains every time Mike recommends it. But that actually came up because that was on the shelf also at Sam's house where we were playing. And I was like, "Oh, Gravwell, that's one of Mike's favorites." But yeah, I agree that those little ships look very similar. So
Like little noses.
Yep.
Good.
That was the second. Yeah, that was the second game we played. Highly recommend it. I have a copy, Carlos. We'll play it. I think you will enjoy it.
Put it on the catch-up list. I didn't grab my list, but yeah, we need to put that. That's not necessarily catch-up. But
yeah, the other one, I won't go into it too much.
Oh yeah. Got to touch on it.
Because I just want to touch on it, but we got a copy of Bohemians from Portal Games, and we brought it to the game day. Set up the 4-player. I had watched Rodney Smith's How to Play, and it worked great because basically it teaches you how to play. I didn't even really need to look at the rules.
Yeah, just one or two little things we had to look up. But,
yep. And so basically we played Bohemians 4-player. It went kind of really well. It's a deck building game with a twist. So if you've played After Us, or you have these cards and you're trying to make sure the cards match. So you're planning out your day as a Bohemian, trying to have the most eventful day without really trying to have to work very much. But if you don't work, then you suffer some consequences. So you kind of have to do that. And you can see there, as you play your cards, and you have these kind of events that you're doing during the day, and you may have some sort of patrons or people that you can play with it to enhance it. And the whole goal is, like with most deck building games, you want to have the most buy power. And with that buy power, you can buy more cards to add to your deck, or you can buy more points on this Tellier board, which lets you do some cool stuff, or you can buy the victory point cards, which are the end game victory. And basically, you keep playing until a certain number of these victory point cards have been purchased, these achievements, and then whoever has the most achievements at the end of the game wins. So it's a standard sort of deck builder when it comes to the idea. You draw 5 cards. Some of them let you draw additional cards, and then you're going to play those cards to have buy power and try to chain things together to really make it work. I think that the twist is you're building out your day, and you need to match the symbols to get your buy power. And if you don't work, you're going to get negative, or there's ways to get kind of negative. And some of the negatives are kind of like, it's like, well, I went and partied too much. Now I have drug addiction, right? Or I had some, unprotected,
too much candy from rock hard,
relations. And now I have a STD of some kind, right? And all of these things cause problems, right? Where like you'll have to either discard cards, or you get half your things. And I think Rob actually went full in. He got like a ton of different drawbacks. He's like, I'm not going to work.
I asked Rob.
Yeah,
I said, Rob, what diseases did you pick up? And his response was all of them.
I got all of them. Yeah, almost every one of them.
Janela and I really fought to not get them, and then I think Chris, unfortunately, he got 2 that when they kept coming up at the same time, and they kind of really crushed his ability. So I think
he had a bad experience because he kind of got screwed by the draw a little bit, which there is a possibility of that in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think part of it was, if you know the game, like that's only going to happen the first time you play, because as you play it, the second time you're going to know, okay, well, if I get this bad thing, I know I need to get rid of it quickly because it can sync up with another one.
Yeah.
And so like, as you learn the cards, you can kind of learn to play it. So he didn't, although he still had a couple of, I think he had an achievement card or 2.
You hit one at the end, yep.
Yeah, so it wasn't horrible, but it was a good experience. It was quick game. I think we played in like with teach maybe 45 minutes, an hour the max.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
The artwork is really cool. So we'll definitely have to play more and do a full review. But I think it was a good experience. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, and I think Rob. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but you liked it more than you thought you would.
Yeah, exactly. It's. I didn't know a whole lot about it before we played. I didn't know that it was pretty much just a pure deck builder. And so, but once I heard that, I was like, oh, okay, well, we're talking probably, Dominion, something like that. So it's not going to be that different. It had enough different that it was, again, that I'm glad we played it, and we will play it more. We're going to get in several plays so that we can give it a proper beans and give it the full review. We got to get Carlos in it. Carlos is going to play the solo play.
That's what we're looking at now on the screen. That's what has me excited, is once we get it together and we all play it together, then I can really get into that solo scenario system.
Yeah.
It looks pretty cool.
But yeah, I mean, it's a unique theme, so that's kind of interesting. Again, those negative cards are some of them are a little eye opening. Like, oh wow, okay, they put that in here, huh? But,
I mean, it is 1800
different lifestyle.
Bohemians, different lifestyle. Yeah,
yeah. But I was hooked on opium a couple times. I had syphilis a couple times. Yep. Anyway, but no, it was fun.
Somebody clip that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, and it's not there wasn't a whole lot of completely unique and new stuff. So the longevity will be the question for me, but we'll get in plays just to see how that holds up. So
I did like the building your day, right? And we didn't do it, but supposedly like one of the ways after you build your day and you have your activities, you're supposed to go around and kind of describe your day. And Rob's like, no,
my
too
day
much
sucks.
steam for me.
Let's get this game going.
Yeah. So you can add to that if you're a thematic gamer, you're able to add that little step in the game process. But it was cool. So yeah, we'll talk more about it. But
yeah,
I don't want
to get into heavy depth. Only one other thing I just wanted to throw out there. I don't think I mentioned this yet, but I picked up a copy at Barnes and Noble of there it is. Is that backwards? Forest Shuffle? Yeah. But this I like this game on BGA. I've only had ever played it on BGA, and was one that I was like, this is a light, quick game I can teach the kids. And I was at Barnes and Noble, and it was in the clearance section for $8.99. I was like, for $8.99, I got to pick it up. It's not one that I would have probably bought at full price. I think it's like $29 normally, but for $9, it was a steal. So that's my latest acquisition. I grabbed that, and I think that's all I picked up in the last week. But yeah, good stuff. Time for what are we going to go to next? The news, maybe?
We got news.
News.
We haven't done the news in a little bit, and I know we caught up on some OGG last week. But Wayne and I were in the notes section, kind of updating our notes, and I saw there's a lot of news links in there. But the big one that I wanted to start out with is the Board Game Arena Awards.
Oh yeah.
I think I missed the voting. I saw that it was out there, but I never.
No, I saw it was out there. It was on their main page for a while.
Yeah, I meant to go double back on it. I never did. So every time I was getting into BGA, I was trying to play my turns real fast, and so I just never took the time to sit down. Like last year, I did, but this year I just didn't get to it.
Because I do remember year before last, we all did it together and kind of predicted what we thought. But I can't say that I'm surprised at any of these winners here. I've got the article. Wayne's got the article as well.
There you go.
On BGA itself. Interesting nomenclature for some of these categories. Let's get into them. For best 2-player game, I don't think anybody would be surprised to know that Toy Battles was the winner there. Probably the most that I played on BGA this year. Probably either Flip 7 at the beginning when it first came out, and then Toy Battles kind of took over that realm.
Yeah. I tell you what, what I do love when you actually look at the awards page, they're showing you the percentage of the voting.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that on here, but
cool.
so Toy Battle got 36% of the vote. Shot and Ton got 23%. King of Tokyo Duel got 21%, and Azul Duel got 19%.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's very transparent.
Yeah, I like that. That's kind of cool.
What was that category above there? I was looking at a different page, reading them in different order.
If we want to go,
let's go to the top.
All right, so best casual game.
Casual.
Yeah. Flip 7.
This one was
Skull
a blowout.
King,
No surprise.
Coffee Rush and Quinto.
I can't seem to find Quinto in the real world.
I don't know if I've ever played it.
I saw a review of Quinto, and I'm like, I want to get this game. It's pretty old, and I can't find it. But it only got 10%.
I mean, Flip 7 got 42%, so it's pretty big, yeah.
Yeah, doubled what Skull King almost. Yeah.
Yep. And then you have the best regular game, which is kind of an interesting topic.
Regular.
Yeah,
These games keep you regular.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did not play Dead Cells. The only one I haven't played out of the three of these.
Me
but,
too. Yeah.
Yep. Gilded versus Boar is great. And what I like about this too is it's not even like some of these games are older. I mean, Gilded has been out for a couple of years now. But it goes when it was released, the year it was released on BGA is how you get nominated. So Castles was okay. I played it a few times and it's Force Shuffle I'm okay with. It's all right. I think I'm like Rob. It's like I don't know if I'd buy it, but for $10 probably. But Gilded 38% makes sense. Yep.
Yeah. I agree.
Best expert game. This is interesting because I don't know if I'd put some of these all in the same category, but
yeah, just heavier than average.
Heavier than average. Yeah, that's kind of Galactic Cruise wins with 35% of the vote.
That was close though. White Castle 30.
Hey, my White Castle's right there, baby.
30.3. Yeah,
sliding in that White Castle.
Concordia with 22 and then Apiary at 12. I mean, I think Concordia is the best out of these four games, but
that's tough.
I would put White Castle and Concordia at my top two, and White Castle because of its ease of play and quickness. Like I got it played more on BGA than I did Concordia.
That is true.
Noting that you haven't played Galactic Cruise though, so you didn't rank.
I don't know if I ever will though, man. I keep looking at that game and it's just
it's not that bad. I'll teach
it looks
it to
big
you
and honking.
if we get a chance, but it's fun.
Chunky.
Yeah.
And then we did 2-player, right? Obviously, and then we got now best.
I like how Shot and Totten getting second place. That stands out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shot and Totten's a good one.
We played this a ton when it first came out, girls. We need to get back into some games of Shot and Totten and Toy Battle. So
yes.
And then best brain teaser.
Whoops.
Say that. Yep. Whoops.
Say that fast 3 times.
Best brain bruiser.
I've heard good things about Drop-A-Mine. Like people keep talking about it.
What does this mean though? Walk me through this category. Best brain teaser. Is this like abstract
puzzle-y,
or
abstract, puzzly?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I haven't heard of any of these except for Ubongo.
I'm with Robert.
I've heard of Drop-A-Mine. A bunch of podcasts have talked about Drop-A-Mine in the last couple months. So,
I have heard of that. That's where you're deflecting the. Okay, yes, I remember. I saw this on Dice Tower, where you're deflecting like the laser or the light or whatever in different directions, and you're trying to deduce what your opponent's light is or where they have their stuff placed on their board or something.
That was the closest voting, I think, though, because 31.88% to 31.15%,
and then 25.56, not far behind either. 5.7, yeah,
so pretty close all around.
So, is that it?
That's
nice.
Yes, that's it.
Did they have they had a pick for the staff pick, and that one was I can't remember. Was that Flips? It was one of the ones that won of the other categories, but their staff pick of the best game was I think was it Flip 7 or was it Galactic Cruise? I can't remember, but yeah, there was another one on there somewhere.
Cool. All right, let's keep it going with the news.
Yeah, what you want to do next?
Grab one and go.
Oh, all right.
Unless one is speaking to you. Anyone that's speaking to you.
No, we can start quick doing these, I guess, because some of them are
board game controversies.
Carlos
was talking about Olympic controversy, but we got a bunch of board game controversy out there.
So the first one we got was Simon, valued at more than $7.5 million.
Oh, nice!
Successful shares there. So apparently, they put up like another sale of shares and interest in the company, and it generated $7.5 million in potential revenue capital. But like from what the article is basically saying, that almost all of this is immediately getting sucked into fulfilling the Kickstarters that they still have.
Makes sense.
Outstanding. Yeah. And it's still not even enough to do the ball.
Do that.
So the $7.5 million is enough to do it'll help with several more Kickstarters and getting them fulfilled. But they're talking about selling more IP. Another IP.
What do they have left? Jeez.
And what were the valuations of them? Like what? How much? Because they made millions off of some of these, right, on their own.
I don't think they
campaign.
made millions. I think the campaign made millions, right? But don't forget, like the more they promised and the more plastic they did, I don't know how much was profit. You know, like they could have had a $10 million Kickstarter and it cost them $9.9 million to produce it and deliver it, right? So they may have their profit was never very high. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I mean, it is a good sign that they've continued to deliver and that they're continuing to find ways to deliver. But I think the ultimate is going to, I mean, just my opinion, I think ultimately what's going to happen is they're going to get a whole lot of it delivered and eventually they're going to run out of IPs to sell. They're going to run out of things. And then once all that's done and you've sold all your big IPs, how do you come back from that? Like, what's the next thing?
Like I said, they don't have much more on the IP to get rid of, I don't think.
I think Massive Darkness, isn't it Massive Darkness, Simon?
Is that still with them?
That's still with them, I think.
Right. So what I'm thinking is I pulled up some titles here. Right. So they made 7.5 million, right? But like Marvel United Multiverse was they raised 4.7 million for that one. Mm-hmm. So like, you know, Wayne, this is only a couple 3 campaigns that they're going to have to use that money towards. Mm-hmm. So they really didn't make that much.
Yeah. Well, so I guess maybe what they're saying, but
yeah. And this goes back to why I hated when Kickstarter let certain companies get away with having multiple Kickstarters without delivering. Like their policy was,
right,
we're not going to deliver. We're not going to let you have multiple out there. And they let certain companies like Simon run crazy. And it's kind of, anyway. So, yeah, let's go to the next one here. So we got Magic the Gathering, 4.7 bill in revenue in 2025.
Yeah, no surprise, just printing money.
But
there's another article. I hope you have that one too, Wayne.
Yeah, where they're getting sued.
Are they? Well, might need the money then. Keep printing it.
Well, so yeah, I mean, I don't know if we do. Probably not.
Ultimately, the gist of it is they made all this money right in 2025, but then their shareholders are now suing them because they watered down their IP by their value by doing cash grabs with different IPs, Spider-Man, Lord of the Rings. Like they can't stop it now. They're almost like Simon now. They're just doing one after the other as a influx, a spike of revenue to try to bolster up the shares. But ultimately, it's now you're getting fatigue in the system because everybody can't buy everything. And that's so now the shareholders are like, hey, you printed too much money and now we're going to lose money. We're suing you.
Yeah, just print more. Keep it going.
Rob for president.
Ride that horse as long as you can.
So we got Innis 3rd edition from Asmodee.
I haven't even played my copy. I still have it, and I still haven't even played it. And we already have a new edition.
Yeah, I only played it once. It was good. It didn't blow me away, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of a classic now. It's been around for a while.
3rd edition, interesting. Yeah. And then we got now these I might want to buy. Like I'm looking at these. I like code names. I like these. They have these. It's a great idea that they're doing. Check Games Edition, which great actually Rob and I talked at the game day. I think CGE may be my favorite company right now.
Yeah.
SETI, our new FFG.
Yeah, SETI, Arnak, Pulsar, Code Names. Like you look at their lineup of games, it's pretty cool. But I like these little packs because they got 2 for Code Names Duet, and 1 for Code Names Pictures. It's a good way instead of having to buy another whole. Codenames Harry Potter or Codenames Disney or Codenames whatever. I can buy these little expansion packs. So it's kind of like going into the Wingspan bird packs, Yeah,
great idea.
Yeah,
man, good move for the company.
Yep. The next one, now this is a role playing. We got to mention some role playing stuff. So actually, and I don't have the article for the other one, but basically my 2 favorite role playing games are coming out with new editions or anniversary editions. So Deadlands, which is an amazing RPG, is a 30th anniversary edition's coming out, and then 7th Sea, which had some trouble with their 2nd edition Kickstarter, is coming out with a 3rd edition, which is keeping all the crazy, really good lore that they created in the 2nd edition, but moving back towards the game style of the 1st edition. So that's gonna be good too. So, so if you're an RPG fan, both Deadlands and 7th Sea, probably 2 of the best RPGs ever produced are out there. So, yep. Now we get into some controversy though. Are we ready for some
Okay, here's the good
controversy?
stuff. This is what I wanted to talk about. Go
This
ahead.
is what you want to talk about?
What's the
All right,
next
so
one?
we'll
Yeah.
start with this one here. We'll start with the
Ooh.
Rodney Smith.
The big one. Yeah.
The big one, yeah. So apparently we know that Rodney Smith, Watch It Played fame, right? And we've all watched a Rodney video. He has a close friend that they've worked with for years who owned a different channel called Game Night Picks. And there were some crossovers and they were doing videos on each other's site. And to explain sort of what happened, you really need to go watch. Rodney put out a written statement and an unlisted video that you can find, even though it's unlisted. And so basically what happened is the end of last year and that November to December time period, apparently Game Night Picks started paying YouTube advertising for views. And so anyone could do it, right? It has a channel. You can go and pay YouTube to say, hey, here's $100 or $1,000 or whatever it costs is. I have no idea because we haven't looked into it. Market my videos to this demographic or this group of people. And you can do the same thing in Facebook, all the social media that you do it. You pay them and they will make sure that thousands of people in your whatever you say. I want people from Asia. I want people from America. I want men. I want, gamers, whatever. So Game Night Picks apparently went from like 10,000 subscriptions to like 180,000 subscribers in like 2 months. And which is crazy because nobody grows that much unless you're paying for it. But what the unethical piece that Rodney was talking about was Game Night Picks was charging game publishers and game companies per view for advertisements on the site. Now the issue is, so like let's say we're an hour into our show, so we'll do an advertisement for Check Games Edition, and then we'll charge Check Games because there was, we've had 10 viewers or 1,000 views of our video, so we'll charge you a cent or 5 cents per view. Well, that's great if you have 1,000 views, great. But when you now have 180,000 followers and your average views are going from like 1,500 to like 15,000, you're charging a whole lot more. The problem is when you actually look at the metrics, all of these new followers, the average watch time was like a minute. So like people are clicking the link and watching the video for about a minute and then closing it out well before they ever got to the advertisement for Check Games Edition. And that's where Rodney's like, that's not ethical. And there's even more to it. Like these articles are about a week old, or there's been some new stuff come out where he was like trying to leverage Watch It Played and saying like
without Rodney Smith's
knowledge and saying, hey, you can pay to advertise on our site, and it was like a bait and switch, and where they like there was a game designer showed the email.
Yeah, that's the part that weirded me out.
Yeah, where it was like, well, well, all of those advertisement slots have been sold already because he really didn't have permission to put it on Watch It Play, but you can buy them on this channel and go from there. So let me see if I can find you can see right here, there's average viewership. It like plummets. And so only 3% of the views watched more than 8 minutes out of a 29-minute video. So it was kind of interesting. I think it's just a wake-up call again to ethical practices in social media, ethical practices in content creation, but also I'm not victim blaming at all. Like companies need to also pay attention to this stuff. Like if you're going to pay for advertisement, you have to make sure like you need to show me that like people are watching my advertisement, right? But I think part of it is people like Rodney have a certain reputation in the game industry, and even this other individual has a crazy reputation.
Yes.
So this was just kind of shocking. And I think what's interesting is Board Games Insider just had a podcast released yesterday where they actually talked about it for a while, and both Bonacore and the other guy, not Ignacy, but the third one.
I know the guy, but I don't know. I can't remember his name.
The veterinarian.
The veterinarian guy.
I might forget his name.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God, my brain.
I can tell you what he did for a living before he did board gaming. He'll always tell you part owner of Gen Con, right?
Yeah.
Part owner of Play to Z. Part owner of the what's that board game channel, the YouTube channel they have?
Oh, the where they do like let's play a game under the sea with play a game on a volcano. But they talked about it, and they're like he was like, before this all blew up, I actually stopped at the individual's house and we were playing games because I was traveling through his town. So it's just interesting.
I think the most one of the worst sides of it, although I probably the worst of it is Rodney and Chaz. So Chaz Marlar. I mean, we'll name the name, but Chaz Marlar. They had a long relationship. They had what he said, a 10-year.
Allegedly.
Yeah, 10
Gotta make sure I say that.
Yeah, 10-year.
Allegedly.
Allegedly what?
Everything's allegedly here. Okay, we're not saying that anyone did anything wrong. It's all allegedly. We're protecting ourselves.
Sure,
Corey Thompson is what I'm talking about. Corey Thompson.
There you go. Yeah. But Chaz and Rodney had what they said, a 10-year friendship, 7-year business relationship that was all severed. So I mean, that is completely ruined at this point. I mean, that's for whatever good or bad or whatever that is. But I feel worse or as bad for the other people that were in this group, because Watch It Played and Rodney Smith has now, because of this experience, has pulled back entirely, and he had put together a team of people, Paula Deming,
Matthew Jude, Grant Lyon, and the
couple
Naveen
and yeah, what's her name? I forget, but anyway,
Yeah,
they all now they were allegedly or assumedly they had nothing to do with any of this, but they were all under this umbrella now with Watch It Played, and Rodney has severed.
Game Night Picks. They were all on Game Night Picks.
Right, they had done some on Game Night Picks.
Monique.
Yes. Monique, there you go.
And Rodney was very good about making it clear that like they didn't have access to any of this data, so they would not have any knowledge.
No, they were just content creators. They weren't part of the business.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah, so they were getting paid by Watch It Played. They were part of. I don't know if they were completely paid staff, paid members there, but now they just suddenly wake up one day and now I'm back on my own. So they all have their own channels. They all have done their own things. But their channels, I haven't got to check the numbers, but I assume are dwarfed by the viewership and the numbers that Watch It Played has. So that's a shock to all of them as well, I would have to assume. So yeah, major changes.
Yeah, it's got to suck. Someone you trust, someone you've been doing this together with for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And for that reason, Rob, I need to confess something.
Here we go.
So I've been putting out these emails and making extra income off of selling pictures of your feet online.
Ooh, foot pics. Yeah. I didn't even know you were taking foot pics. What?
Oh my god!
While you're playing games here, my phone's under the table snapping pictures of your feet.
I bet that's weird.
I had to come clean as a friend. Like I can't see that relationship and hide things from you, Rob.
They got those cameras all over your house. I know what they're all over the place for.
Surveillance state. He works for Palantir.
Mm-hmm. That Ring doorbell when I come in, he's telling pictures of my hand pics. Yeah.
Hey, listen, we only kill people if we have to.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is, like, if you listen to the Board Games Insider podcast too, though, like, just said his name and I forgot it all of a sudden. They were saying though that like Chaz really didn't. Corey Thompson. Sorry, he was suggesting that like. Yeah, there was back and forth between Rodney and Chaz, but when Rodney dropped the video and he like emailed it out to like publishers and game companies, like Chaz didn't know it was coming.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, dude, you got to know, because like Rodney was talking, like Rodney made it clear. He's like, I tried to work this out with him before I went public, and it didn't. He was not willing to change.
Yeah. I guess he says that Chaz offered a partial discount, but it was nothing compared to what the company's really lost on the advertising. So
and Chaz is doing a kind of like not mea culpa, but he's like offering discounts back and money refunds, and his public statement was very measured.
Very middle
I'm
of the
sure
road.
he's trying to make sure, like, I don't like, even like Rodney suggested there was some legal action. I don't necessarily think it's legal action, because everything he did was perfectly fine. He paid for the advertisements, he paid for the viewership, paid for the subscribers. And like Chaz's explanation was he was covering the game Roz for Game Night Picks, which is the year
international.
So he said he wanted to get more international viewers. So he paid YouTube to get more international viewers, and it blew up greater than he thought. And he's trying to say, well, it happened in November, December, and in January, but I was already pulling it off. I wasn't continuing that. It's hard to say. It's like he said, she said.
I think you said it well, Wayne. In it doesn't sound like anything illegal happened here.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. However, it doesn't feel on the ethical up and up.
Right, which is where I think Rodney is coming from mostly.
And as a Canadian, I don't think Rodney can despite not being 100% on the up and up. Like he's apologizing for everything already.
Yeah, it's crazy. The social media is crazy though, because I mean, I've met him once, but I think you've met him more. Rob Warren from Rob's Tabletop World.
Mm-hmm.
He did a video where he was just like, if you go after Rodney, he's like, I'm coming after you people. He's the best. Like, you know, he preemptively did a video that like, I love Rodney. He's the best. Don't, you know,
nice
he
Canadian.
didn't do anything wrong, right? But then like, he was like, he didn't know like Paula and the others, right? So he's kind of like, you know, and I'm sure the other people, the Paula and the guy with the big mustache that thinks he's funny and like da 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 da. So he, you know, Rob, he's rough, flippantly just kind of said da 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 da. I guess Paula went and commented like, you know, you could have been a little bit nicer to us too. And he's like, I don't even fucking know you. He's like,
it is funny, Wayne, because I don't know if you watch Rob Oren's Sam Healy video.
I did, yeah.
Because he did a react to the Sam Healy thing, and that was a more of I couldn't care any F's. That guy didn't even call me when I was sick. Like he's so Rob
crusty.
Oren is so crusty old grognard. But I haven't talked to that dude in years. He didn't even call me when I was sick. I don't care.
Yeah. But
you cross Rodney, and I'm coming for you.
Coming after you.
But
he's got lines.
I've seen like, you know, all the comments. Because I work from home and I work in IT, kind of finance and IT. So I'm looking like 95% of the comments were positive to Rodney.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a couple people that are just like, well, actually, you know, but who cares, dude? You know,
I think Aaron said he didn't think Rodney could have handled the situation any better.
Yeah. I don't think so. You know.
I don't think so either. And the reason is at the end of the day, Rodney has to protect himself
it's
and
his
what
job.
he worked on.
Yeah.
You know, and any liability that might come from that. Just being around something that might be not okay is enough to be looked at as you're not okay.
Yeah.
So I don't disagree.
Going back to Aaron, I don't understand how you get that far behind $7.5 million and all that money raised. You know, what it is one, you got to pay for the IP, and they over for $200 you get 400 miniatures. Their profit margin was tiny on all of those Kickstarters, 100%. And then the pandemic hit, and then the tariffs, and then, you know, it is what it is. So. All right, I'm going to switch to something positive real quick, and then we'll go to the other.
Oh, man.
No. Come on, guys. You got to be positive. Look, Ticket to Ride is coming to Netflix.
Oh, that's a negative.
What?
Like, what the hell? What the
I did a little bit of research on this one, and I am still very much confused. Like, what are we doing here?
So Netflix has now, I think it's Netflix, has now optioned both Catan and Ticket to Ride.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But what does that mean? Like...
Movies, shows. Yeah, they said possibly
shows,
movies, shows,
reality TV shows, or something. Who knows, right?
Yeah, they got it all.
Think about it. It's like remember what was the reality show where you had like a couple, like either two guys, two girls, or couples, whatever, and they were traveling the world, right?
Yes. Amazing Race or something.
Amazing Race. Imagine Amazing Race meets Ticket to Ride. Like you claim your routes by actually working your way from one city to the next, and. I mean, at the top of my head, I have no idea if that's what it's going to be.
That's how I felt.
Like maybe, right? That'd be cool, right? Yeah. Or you could have like Hell on Wheels and actually just take Ticket to Ride Legacy and make it an actual TV show. I don't know, but
yeah, well, they're taking the claim.
Here's the thing: is it can only be a good thing for us because Netflix puts Ticket to Ride and Catan into a show. People are going to go, "What is that? It's a game. Maybe I should try it." And
what else is out there?
More people will buy Ticket to Ride and Catan and then go. Well, what is next? Maybe it's Wingspan. Maybe it's whatever. It's more people in the hobby. More people in the hobby means more income. Game companies put out more games.
I don't know what, like 20 million copies of Ticket to Catan already sold, right? Like
that's good. Have you seen the Ticket to Ride Saturday Night Live skit?
I don't think I have. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god, it's hilarious.
Is it? I'm gonna watch it.
It is good.
We'll watch it after the show.
Make it a 2-hour movie.
Yeah. And then we got Aaron. Yeah, I guess you're so far behind. You just try to borrow for the next project. It's exactly what it is.
That's what they did. Yeah,
that's what they did, and that's why I hate when.
And they're not the only ones. I mean, there's been other companies that did it. Who was the other big one that went out of business a couple years ago?
Well, there's been a few that borrowed to beg Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah, that was a big one. I can't remember who it was, but what was some of the games they made? Anyway, but yeah, it's definitely not the first time it's happened.
Yeah,
So
Carlos is suggesting that someone should call in.
yeah, let's say the lines are open. I was going to mention that before we jumped into this, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah,
Still at zero. Just showing the board
are better than others. Yeah,
Yeah, that's all right. So we can go to the last of the controversies. So we've got tabletop industry veteran Ryan Dancy loses Alderock COO job after saying AI can generate game ideas as good as some of the game companies' game designs. So it was Twitter or Facebook. Somebody made a comment about everyone's in love with AI and everyone's using AI for everything, and it's not that great. It's not yet that good. It's
it's a 3-year-old.
It's a 3-year-old that
it acts like a child,
right. And then Ryan Dancy, who is no he's not new to controversy. He's been in trouble for making comments that are not necessarily the best. He comes out and says, not only is AI good, but it can basically make games better than some of my company's own games.
not a good way to phrase that, but
yeah, and like Carlos had mentioned before the show, it's like if you look at his actual comment and read it, it's not horrible, other than the fact that he just has no clue of the audience he's portraying. Right? We know that gamers are not into AI. We know they don't want AI, or they don't want AI designed games. So don't just throw the entire industry on the bus and games from your own company.
Yeah, that's the killer.
That's the part that Wayne pointed to me to, because Wayne and I were chatting, and I'm like, it doesn't. So Wayne, we had that AI episode with Patrick from AS3 Advanced 3 A3S Advanced 3 Spaces, and Wayne had told me about that USF class for AI prompting. So I'm taking it this month in February. I've been taking it.
Cool.
I'm learning a lot about AI. And what I'm learning is I've underestimated AI. There's a lot that I really underestimated about it. So when I read that real quick blurb about AI can design games, I'm sitting here thinking, yes, it can.
Yeah,
I can see this in the near future. Months away from now, it'll get to that place. Not today, maybe, but in a few months, I don't doubt that it could. So I'm like, Wayne, I don't see what's wrong. And then Wayne pointed me to the part where it was the examples that he gave that AI can do better were games from his own company. And I'm like, okay.
Right. and then the step further is we know the AI art backlash that the gaming community's had. So what kind of backlash you think they'd have if we said we can replace Renner Knizia and Vladimir Suchi and all Clemens Franz and all these guys? We could just use AI to do it all. Gamers aren't going to want that, right? He would have been better to say, like, games will be better in the future because we can play test with AI, we can have the rule books read by AI, and we can do things with AI to enhance the game industry. Nothing wrong with that comment. But saying that, like, I could replace game designers with AI, like, know your audience, my man.
Because to me, the board gaming industry is almost like NASCAR to other racing series. I like how Rob will roll his eyes, not roll his eyes. He'll look back into his brain like, what is Carlos trying to say here?
Yeah.
I'm not understanding. Yeah. Follow me. Check this out, Rob. Tell me what you think here.
I'm coming for the ride.
Are you coming along? Come along. In NASCAR, right, the biggest thing on the car, design-wise, is the number of the car and the driver, right? Like, that's the biggest thing there. It's huge. It takes up the major majority of the side.
Engine, same body type. They have to have the same specifications for everything else, right?
Well, I'm saying like the sponsorships, right? There's sponsors everywhere, but on the side of the car, like the biggest thing you see is the number, and on the roof, the biggest thing is you see is the number, because they're like focused on driver identity, right? This is your team, this is your car, this is your driver, right? In most other racing series, the numbers are small. They're only there on a side panel, like in F1. It's got to be the size of a piece of paper. It's not that big of a number identifier of who the driver is, right? It's the sponsors and the manufacturer
and like
that
the
are
team,
the bigger
like
draw.
McLaren team, whatever.
Right. Yeah. In board gaming, the designer is who we love, right? The designer, we can follow a designer. We can see a designer as on the box and say, "Ooh, that's Vladimir Suchi. I loved all these other design. I'm going to give this game a try." So, like, throwing them under the bus and saying, I have a computer software that can make you irrelevant and there'll be no name on here. It'll be just created by AI. I can see how it kind of hits away from I have designers that I like, that I follow, who design in a way or a style that I enjoy.
The other thing that I think in his comment he made in 30 years or what, because he worked back in the day with D&D, and he was with Pathfinder, so he's been around forever, right?
Oh,
And he's
thank
like,
you,
"Oh,
hey
it-
Clark. Aaron just told me that he got voicemail, so something must be wrong with
maybe
my
that's
thing.
Maybe people are trying to call.
Anyway, so this guy's been in the industry for 30, 40 years. And he said, oh, in all my time in the industry, the only thing interesting that any human came up with was Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering. And I'm like, you're an idiot, because
crazy.
that's crazy. And yes, those probably are the two big ones, right? Because look at what Magic is and look at what D&D is. Those are the big boys. But Dominion, right? And like the first time a game mechanism was used in a game was crazy, right? So like Dominion is in that, right? And so maybe there's not 100 examples of like interesting or crazy human ingenuity type things, but there's definitely more than just
two.
More than two, dude. You know,
Yeah. Way more than two.
That list was very low when he said there were 2 milestones or meaningful creations. I don't know.
No, man.
I think Dominion's one of them.
Dominion's in there. I mean, Catan.
It
started a craze, right? It started
sure.
a whole thing, right? You could go through and name a few other, and then think about the first time a mechanism was used, right? The first time you had dice drafting, or so yeah, he's definitely just and like I said, it's not the first time he's gotten in trouble for making idiotic comments online. So this might have just been the straw that broke the camel's back of like, okay, you're doing more harm than good. Goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's probably too far from the truth. It's pretty scary what AI is, where his AI is heading. But
it's again, like he could have made those comments so much better.
Yeah,
he'd been like, absolute, AI is not this moronic thing that whatever the original code is. He's like, no, because we can now run. And even Jeff Engelstein has talked about it, like the use of AI. If I design a game and I'm playtesting it with people, I might only get a couple hundred playtests in. But if I create an AI engine, I can do 1,000 playtests.
However, we'll come back to that. Let's go back to that. Beansanddice podcast. State your name. Where you calling from?
Hey, it's Aaron calling from Columbus. How are we doing?
Thank you, sir. For apparently I pushed the wrong button.
Yeah, I wonder how many people have tried to call. I'm just like
2. Aaron and one other. We missed
did you
one
see
other.
There was another one I missed call.
Yeah, I could see one other.
Okay.
Welcome back to the show. Anything in the topics that we've been hitting that has you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of there's been a ton of interesting, drama, news coming out of the board game space recently. It not that I ever wanted to get political, but I think sometimes it's silly to think politics make our way into all aspects of our life. So certainly it shows up in board games too. Like there's no way it's not going to. So we've certainly seen that lately, and what does the community look like? What do we want it to look like? And so I think I guess I'm speaking specifically to the Dice Tower situation and the Sam Healy situation, and I think I was just fascinated by that. I don't necessarily agree with everything Alex from Board Game Co. has said. He's been probably one of the most vocal and most willing to kind of dip into those sort of conversations. But I think he's really good at being able to have those middle ground conversations, and I think everyone is just so willing to jump to, one extreme or the other. It makes it really hard to know, like, in any given moment, if anyone's doing what someone else considers the right thing, right? Like, I think there's just always this sense of like worrying that someone's going to be offended. I vehemently disagree with a lot of what, pretty much everything Sam said, but then you get people attacking the Dice Tower specifically, and individual people on the Dice Tower, and publishers that then work with the Dice Tower. And I just wonder, like, when it stops and when we can't just associate blame and wrongdoing to like the person that we ultimately think who's done something wrong, rather than trying to pass that blame
Yeah.
5-6 steps
It's that
removed.
spiral
from the
that's
person
the issue,
who's
right?
actually offended us. Yeah.
Yeah, well
So-
said. Yeah.
Well, I don't think you're
Yeah,
wrong
so-
because even Aristotle says it. Man is a political animal, right? Because of our ability to think and reason. So yes, politics is gonna intrude itself in all aspects of our life. We can't keep it out. It is just being able to have those conversations with people and maybe considering somebody's position to be wrong, but not the person themselves. And I was telling Wayne at the beginning of the show, before we even started, we were having this like, oh, how do we broach this? Because it can get a little political. It can touch some third rails for folks. But at the end of the day, what I love about our group here is we have such a very group of opinions, but we can all talk to each other and not get mad at each other. We might disagree with each other's thoughts or positions, but not hold it against the person. So I'm glad you called and are willing to have this conversation with us.
Yeah.
I'm very much supportive of wanting to have spaces in our society where we can take a break from it and remove ourselves from it. But to think that's going to happen always and forever, and there's never going to be a moment where politics don't show up, whether that's in the theme of a game or how people are represented. Then I start thinking about all these factors, right? What was it around? Was it Gen Con? The Ace of Spades from DeVere? Like, it's a political thing. Was it intended to be political? No, it wasn't. But now that it showed up in our space, are we just supposed to ignore it and close our eyes to it? So I think we have to at least be willing to talk through it a little bit. That's the only way I think as a hobby, we'll move forward in some things. If we don't hear what people in the community are frustrated by, or when things get political and things aren't represented appropriately, we at least have to be willing to have those conversations when they do come up. But at the same time, like, we don't have to make every element of board gaming political either. But it's going to show up. It shows up in other parts of society. Why wouldn't?
Because we're humans.
Elements of our
It's
hobby show up.
It's going to infiltrate everywhere eventually at some point. And it's like, I agree. I play games to escape from that, but I also am willing to admit or understand that it's not always going to be this insular space. There's going to be outside influences that occasionally will warrant conversation or at least acknowledgement of it. Right. Like, I think I forget where I saw it, but it was like, like we're in Tampa, Florida, right? So great. We're gamers in Tampa, Florida. If you're a gamer in Minnesota, if you're a gamer in, the Middle East, or if you're a gamer in Ukraine, or if you're a gamer somewhere else, world events are affecting your game life. Right. And so, like, we don't have to worry about that. No, or though we do, because think about like last year, I was without power for 7 days because of a hurricane. Natural disaster impacted my gaming. And so that's a valid topic to talk about, right? So I think sometimes that, you can say, I don't want any politics or any discussions outside of just, I only want gaming. Great. That's 95% of the time, but the other 5%, it's going to happen, I don't know.
Yeah. And it just, and then you run the risk of just, some people are okay with it, like just remaining ignorant. But I think there's and realizing, like, there's a big group of this hobby that isn't online watching YouTube videos, isn't connected to, hey, this new release has concerning art, or this they don't have their finger on the pulse like some people do, and that's absolutely fine. But by not doing that, you don't necessarily fully understand all the ways that the hobby is impacted. Like, tariffs being such a huge factor, like it's I don't know that we've seen it all, but like, it has definitely changed the hobby in the short term. I wonder how much of a long-term impact we're going to see from just economic policy, right? So whether you agree with it or not, it's going to have an impact. And again, we just have to be willing to those conversations. In some cases, agree to disagree, but also in some cases, just understand that, hey, your opinion on this has consequences on who wants to engage. And future conversations with you, who wants to. I mean, I was a history major. I did my senior history thesis on, some of the like the changes to education policy and the I don't want to say like how do I say this? Just the power that people have to change public behavior, societal norms, whether that's moving education from something that was once an elite class kind of privilege to now something that everyone can kind of participate in, or the power of boycotting and organizing and freedom of speech, how that can have huge impacts. The same thing is true in all aspects of our society, right? And I think, I don't want anyone to get canceled, but people have the right and need to know and can fully support who they want to with their money, with their time, based on how they engage outside of the hobby as well. So again, I don't know. I'm not looking to get into specific political viewpoints here, but I hope the hobby for the long term is willing to keep having these conversations, or we're gonna continue to gatekeep and keep people out and not make it a place where everyone's gonna feel welcome.
Yeah, I like the deep thoughts. I do find that most of my gaming friends, some not included, Rob, are highly intellectual folks who are deep thinkers. Like what hurts. I hear from Aaron. And I feel that same way too. These are the kinds, Aaron, those kind of conversations are the kind of conversations I have with my gaming friends, like post games, like that. That's the kind of, we don't really air a lot of that out live on the show because it can sometimes get heated and fun. But those are the fun conversations for me. I think I always wanted to do like another show that went deeper into that stuff.
Yeah. But I think that's I think we can all agree, regardless of where you are in any sort of political spectrum, the biggest problem right now is people can't have those conversations because it is so siloed and so us versus them that you're not able, and you're never going to change someone's mind or open someone's mind to a different viewpoint unless you have a conversation with them, right? So you have to be able to have rational, calm conversations with individuals to express your viewpoints or their viewpoints, or listen to their viewpoints, instead of immediately trying to think about the counter argument. Sometimes it's beneficial just to listen to people, because you're never going to change minds or thoughts, or you're never going to change anything if you're not willing to listen yourself. So
and doing this on the keyboard, it just doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
Having a conversation, you're more likely to maybe input a thought that they might think about later in the future. But on Facebook and such, there's nobody convincing nobody on Facebook.
No, it's just
dig in.
Yeah. But
good combo.
It's so we're so polarized now, right? In every aspect of life, like it's either we've removed gray area and people don't know how to.
There's no nuance.
Online.
Social media relaxes all nuance.
Yes, we've kind of completely lost that. So it makes these conversations difficult. But like, I think we have to be willing to have them. So again, kudos to you. I give.
Hey, 4 years ago, would you have said that you would have thought you would have called into a show to talk about, your experiences and your family and your thoughts on different things? Like, my hope is that I'm providing something completely different, just a different avenue for folks to be able to have these conversations.
I said it first. I don't know that there was a platform to do anything quite like this. There's some channels that are good at engaging people through the chat and live chats and having, I think, more meaningful conversations in that way, but nothing like what I think you guys have done. And again, I've said it multiple times. I appreciate the space. I think for some people, me included, like it's in some ways it's a micro therapy session, right? To just be able to connect with people, especially at my point in life where like I don't get to the game group every week. I got a young kid at home and a career that's in a different place than it was, pre-pandemic. So being able to do this and these type of conversations, hear from other gamers across the the country and I guess in some cases the world like call in and yeah, it's a pretty cool thing that you're doing. And so to even be willing to have the political, at least bring those topics up, whether you're going to dive into it completely. And I'll give Alex, again, from Board Game Co. a ton of credit.
I love his videos.
He's just very willing to have, to share his feelings, to try and kind of find a middle ground, to at least be able to talk about it without a ton of judgment. And then again, to try and find the nuance.
And transparency on his biases. Like that's the part that I like.
That.
He's like
right
up front.
Yeah. And what's crazy is I've actually, he always does like a short video on a topic that's come up in the board game, whether it's tariffs or, whatever. I've actually emailed him, I think twice in like the last year or two, just as a response to the video. Instead of posting a comment, I maybe didn't want the comment posted. So I emailed him and he responded every time to my email with hey, thanks. This is what I agree or disagree, or this is what I'm thinking. And thank you for the email. So like, that's pretty cool too. Like he's responded to every email I've sent two, but he's always responded, which is kind of cool. So,
and Aaron doesn't have any biases here. I mean, the fact that Alex is from Ohio, no biases for Aaron.
Oh, no,
not at all.
I sometimes I forget he's up in Cleveland. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I think he's just one of the few that can do it. And don't get me wrong, he's had moments where the comment section has gotten out of control, and he's tried to manage that the best he can. But like, got to be a space for it. Like, there's not going to be growth if we're not at least having those conversations. So we don't need to talk about it all the time, but when for the hobby, we've got to at least pause and again, I think careful on the judgment, right? I'm not going to judge someone. Like that was the thing that just drove me nuts about the whole Dice Tower thing. Some people were potentially willing to pull their support. You know what? Honestly, I think that if that's your thing, if that meant that much to you, okay, that's yours. But then to like attribute publishers who had worked with them, or like if I ever sit down and play a game from a publisher that did a promo, like there's too much going on here to like hold everyone accountable. Like again, not everyone's engaging at that level. We can't.
It's hard to keep up with who to be mad at.
Yes, yeah, and right, absolutely, and that's where it's got to stop. Like we just have to. When we're not having these conversations, we have to trust that people are well intended and good people and trying to enjoy the hobby and create community together and have that moment. I don't need to ever wonder, they're sitting down playing so-and-so game. There was big controversy about that. They must be bad people. Like that's a bad publisher because they once worked with, to the other example, they once worked with Chaz Marler and did an advertisement on it. Like that, we can't do that. We can't live in that space, but we can have the conversation and try and find a better understanding so that we know what the hobby is looking for and what the hobby wants to support and what it doesn't. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to spend the rest of the call just talking about that, but
yeah, I
appreciate you willing to bring. I mean, this is news. These are big issues in our hobby. There's been drama lately, and it deserves to be talked about. I think it was a fascinating situation where like a week before all the drama happened, Alex posted a video just like, I don't want to say begging, but like really trying to make the case for why people should be supporting the Dice Tower. And I couldn't have agreed more, like on what they do and have done for the hobby. And people will talk about the Dice Tower in negative ways, and maybe you don't agree with everything and whatever. But their place in growing the hobby is undeniable, in my opinion. And then to have to follow that up a week later, there was a real moment there, depending on how this all played out, where, I mean, they really barely made their funding goal. And so it's just these things have consequences. These conversations, this all matters, right? So.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Dice Tower, I don't know if I'd be doing what I'm doing now. Like that's one of the organizations that led the way and kind of gave me some some desire to do what we're doing here.
What's interesting though is you could also tell like so the dice like I saw a chart that had the Dice Tower like Kickstarter, GameFound, whatever their annual thing, and like they hit a peak actually like at the height of the pandemic, like 2022, and like since 2022, their like average annual raising amount has gone down every year.
Well, the amount of competition has grown, like the
competition.
amount of other content.
People don't have as much like during the pandemic. We all were home. We couldn't get out. We
weren't doing Disney. We weren't
doing
taking
Disney.
The family trips.
So like your disposable income gets, granted, and things are crazy expensive now, right? But I also think that Tom's pretty good. He's a pretty good businessman because he's clearly seen that, right? So now they're doing the cruise and have Dice Tower East, Dice Tower West. He's got his retreat. He's got his birthday party. He's looking for alternative revenue
multiple
sources.
streams of income.
The Patreon, the other stuff. So he's clearly trying to supplement and my guess is that like they're going to level off again too, and like not like they may still go down for the next couple of years as far as their funding, because people are one, it's hard to maintain that every year, right? Because you either got to get new people viewing, you got to hope that everyone who paid last year is paying again this year. So it'd be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of years if they try to pivot to more other alternative funding sources.
It'd be smart too.
I completely agree. And I know from some of the other people that have gone to a lot of the retreats and other stuff, I've never been able to make it, but that is, there's a real realization there. Wayne, to your point, like Kickstarter and crowdfunding can't be the main source of income moving forward. Now, maybe it is the biggest single slice of the pie, but you stack that up. I mean, you could do the math really quickly. Like they have 10 full-time employees. Guess what? Doing everything they're doing at $280,000, that doesn't work. No one's making.
I did the math, and I'm like, somebody's not eating.
No one's making a living.
Well, they've got
full-time
other
employees. So we got like Chris and Wendy.
There's 10, I think. Yeah.
Z, Camilla, Tom, the web guy.
Yeah, there's a technician. They have somebody who runs the conventions.
But is that person full time? That person's not full time.
They did have one person full time doing the conventions at one point. So yeah, it's 10 people.
There's a couple people. Yeah, there's 2 or 3 behind the scenes that I don't think we ever see that are.
Yeah, they've got a marketing person who does marketing for them. I forget her name.
Yeah, but it's never clear that she's full time.
She is. Yeah,
she?
They've stated that. Yes. Yeah, she's a full. They have 10 full time paid staff. Yeah.
I don't know how they're making it off of that. Like,
yeah.
They make a lot of money on the conferences too.
Yeah, they've got 3 annual conferences and events. They've got. I'm sure it's not a ton, but they do their paid playthroughs. They don't do reviews, and good for them for that. But they do their paid playthroughs. People are sponsoring crowdfunding or whatever,
YouTube money,
whatever.
Patreon, YouTube money.
They're some YouTube money, some Patreon money. So I'm sure it's a $1 million plus operation.
Probably
when it's all said and done. But that's still not Z and Tom and some people have been there for a while. I hope they're making a little bit of money, but I don't think anyone's getting rich.
They're making a living, but they're not getting rich. And like the thing that's interesting is like I've run conventions as part of my day job, but like it's in my profession. And generally speaking, most conventions, like if you're staying at the hotel, for example, let's say the hotel's $140 a night, the convention runner, so I'm running the convention, I'll tell the hotel charge $150 a night, and then you give me $10 off of every room night back to me. And so that's another way to make money is one, you when you sign a contract with the hotel, I have to guarantee you so many room nights. So I have to guarantee you 1,000 room nights or 2,000 room nights. And so if one person stays 4 nights, that's 4 nights. I have to meet that quota of 1,000 nights. And there's an attrition value where I can reduce that from 1,000 to 800 or whatever. But then I also say charge $10 more a night or $20 more a night and give that back to me as profit, right? So that's the agreement between you and the hotel is you have to risk it and say, if I don't make that 1,000, I have to pay the difference. If I only have 900 room nights and 100, I got to cover that difference. But if I get that 1,000, I then it's pure profit. So that's one way that conventions make money. They also make some money off of the badges and that stuff too. the food is generally all profit for the hotel. The hotel makes all the food money, and so
they still have to pay all the other stuff, right? The room, the conference rooms, and
generally the conference rooms are free.
The food.
Generally, the conference rooms,
really?
In most conferences I've run, what it is you get the convention space for free, but you have to guarantee so many hotel nights. What you have to pay for is AV, audiovisual, which is insanely expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like a projector is like $500, and then food, room and board. So like room and food, and the food usually has a minimum. So the hotels say you have to have 1,000 room nights, and people have to spend at least $50,000 in food. If you meet those 2 requirements, and you get the space for free, and you get your kickback from the rooms.
And whatever the differential is off of a certain number, you have to pay if you don't make it there.
Correct. And that's why you've seen, like 2 years ago, the retreat moved from Miami to Orlando, because my guess is they didn't meet the room night requirement at the Carib for one of the Dice Tower East. And they said, well, you work a deal. Hey, I missed it by 100 nights. Okay, great. Well, if I move this retreat up here, you'll get 300 nights. Is that okay? Great. Then fine. We won't make you pay that difference. And that's sort of the conversations you have back and forth with hotels all the time. And that's probably why they keep going to the Carib, and why this year they're giving that extra swag bag to people who stay on property.
Yes. And I think Tom's doing his birthday bash there too.
No, the birthday bash is down
else.
in Naples.
Okay.
Yeah, that is somewhere else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a fascinating thing, right? All of this is, again, I'm not saying board games don't exist without the Dice Tower, and the hobby will certainly continue to exist. But like, there's just all of these things, are impacted. They were impacted by tariffs, right? And,
paying for the cards and stuff for some of
that
their
impact too,
stuff.
right? Right. So it's a very delicate situation. It's all kind of connected. So I hope we make it out the other end okay. But I think we even saw last year, not that it was a bad year of gaming, but like we're seeing a lot more small games,
and reprints.
These bigger games, yet people reprint.
Deluxifying old games to try to just milk the cow.
Yeah, I think other companies are going to continue to use crowdfunding or other ways to pre-order and ensure that maybe they're not going to make money on a game, but they're not going to lose money, right? So it's going to change the hobby a little bit, but I think we're going to be okay and come out the other side. So
thank you.
I appreciate you guys continuing to.
And thank you for all your kind words on this call. I'm definitely going to clip that, put it on the back of the box when we make the end of season DVD.
The board game. Beans and Dice, the board game.
Yeah.
The flamethrower.
Well, if I ever do decide to dip my toe into the content creation space, you guys would be the first people I'd reach out to. I think, again, I know there aren't thousands of people watching the live end show right now, but I think what you do is really important, and certainly the type of content that I think there needs to be more of. So
I think there's much better people you can talk to than us, because
we're just a bunch of yahoos.
We're just a couple schmucks talking about board games in the middle of the night.
Appreciate people like you calling and taking it to the next level.
Yes. Without you, this show would be nothing, brother.
I appreciate you guys. I don't know about that, but I appreciate what you do, and I'll let you have the last 15 minutes of the call. Maybe someone else will call in, or you'll get to some other topics. But
thank you.
Glad to touch base again, and if I ever get some more games played, I'll be sure to call and share.
I'm sure you will. Thanks, Eric.
All right, brother. Good night.
Right. Thanks, guys.
That was Aaron from Ohio.
Ohio.
Columbus. C-Bus, as the kids call it.
Oh, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
I don't think the kids are talking about C-Bus.
Yeah, I think that Edmund hit it. I think the Dice Tower is much more important in the hobby when they were the only big one. Now there's more. So, I mean, 5-6 years ago, it was Dice Tower, Rodney, Rado, and Will Wheaton, right? Tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's
pick a flavor, any flavor.
Pick a flavor.
Oh, yeah.
There's a million. So it's hard to, yeah. Cool.
Yeah. All right, what do we got next on tap? We said about 10, 15 minutes left here.
OGG.
OGG. Yeah, you know me.
getting into that OGG, that other geeky goodness. This is where we talk to you about all the other hobby stuff that we like and we enjoy. Except we got a call coming in.
Hey.
Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
Chester from Tennessee.
Chester.
Oh, Chester got in there. How you doing?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Got you loud and clear.
Oh, doing good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Got you loud and clear.
Good. Yeah, I would just like to put a big ditto behind a lot of what Aaron had to say, because board gaming, in my opinion, really is one of the greatest hobbies ever. To me, it's no coincidence that it's probably one of the oldest hobbies in, mankind has been, playing games in some form or fashion pretty much as long as we've been, mankind. Look at, how old is backgammon? A couple, 3,000-4,000 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
And I remember I was a freshman at university, and when I grew up playing games, and it was no stranger to board games and card games. But in my freshman year at university, I remember I would most every evening I would come into the lobby of my dorm room, and I would see these guys playing card games at these tables in the lobby. And eventually I decided I'd, mosey on up to them and see what they were doing. They were playing Magic the Gathering. And and eventually I would start taking day trips with them to the local card shops, and I would buy Magic the Gathering cards for like a nickel a piece, and I could put a custom deck together for like $3, and it was beautiful because we were all different shades of geek.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I'll never forget there was one night, me and Bobby, we wound up going to this party with our friend Mikey at the National Guard Armory, and we were the only two white people there. And the only reason is because this guy that we played Magic the Gathering with insisted that we come along with him. And it's just, humanity has got to get over trying to split each other apart.
Yes.
And it's pitiful. But I just really loved the conversation that went on. And I'll just say this as well. I'm a unabashed, unashamed Christian, but one of my best friends and one of the people I love the most in this world is an unabashed, unashamed atheist.
I think you're talking about Carlos and Rob here.
Somewhere in the middle there, but yeah, not atheist.
Well,
It's a spectrum. There's Carlos to Rob to Wayne.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, the point is, me and my buddy, we love each other, period. That's it.
Yes.
I have my beliefs. He has his beliefs. And, and so there you go.
Coexist.
At the end of the day, anytime I go up there for an extended amount of time, and we've got them in the morning. Let's say I go up there and spend the night, and we hang out, and I wake up, and the next morning, he's like, hey Chester, you want to play some chess? And that's one of the only times I ever get to play chess. You know,
Yeah.
he's not a gamer, but when I come over, you know, he wants to play chess, and it's just, yeah, gaming is beautiful, and it's one. I feel like gaming is one of the. I don't mean this pun, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's one of the last bastions of civility we have left, people.
Yeah, agree. It has the power to do good and bring people together. So
I think step one is get to know each other as humans, as people, recognize that. And then step two is deal with all the things that make us different. Like, and I think, Chester, you're right. Playing a game across the table from somebody lets you relate to them as a person much better than video games or other digital media could ever.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm not really exactly sure why. I don't know if it's the effect of like the moving actual physical pieces. I don't know if it's the tactile, you know, but yeah, I'm not really sure why that is, because you guys know, I've called in before. I'm just a dumb old redneck. I don't know nothing, but
I don't know about that.
they're really, well, yeah, there really is something to be said about that. You guys have heard about it, that the, what do they call it? The sacred circle, or
magic circle.
The magic circle.
Magic circle. Yes. Yeah, there really is something to be said about that.
I think it's the pieces, right? It's the gaming, it's the physical thing, but it's also just being physically there.
Yeah, adjacent to each other.
The not online. I played WoW and games with guys for years, but didn't know them as well as someone I played a game with for 3 hours physically because we're close, right? It's that disconnection, and I think that's, you know,
right. Like I treat Wayne differently when we're on BGA, but when he's here at my house, the threat of physical violence is across the table.
Behind that
Right.
computer monitor. Yeah.
No, but I think, and I think, you know, like both Rob, Carlos, and I all have kids and younger kids, and there is a disconnect. Like younger kids and the younger generations, they grew up in a digital world, which is a good thing, and I love it all because I'm a tech guy. But you lose some of that ability to have human interaction because you don't do it as often. So I mean, I strive to make sure that my kid can continue to have human interaction and is able to have conversations in person. And I tell him sometimes, like, I'm bored. I'm like, good, you should be bored, right? Like,
it's good to be bored.
It's good to be bored, right? Go do something else. And I'll say this, I've seen that too. Like, my kid's younger, he's 11, right? They're disconnecting a bit. He got a phone this past year because he has to bike to school, right? So I got him a phone because I want him to have it. If he wasn't biking to school, he wouldn't have a phone. He'll leave it. Like, he'll go out and play with his friends and just leave it. He doesn't, he does not have the need to just be on it all the time, which is good. I hope that stays that way.
Thank you, Chester.
Oh yeah. I tell you, I've got so many things that I would love to say, but am afraid to say because I know there's one thing that, regardless of your social, political, religious beliefs, I think there's one thing we can all agree on. Quizzes are fun.
Yes, that's true.
Wait for it.
Yes, they are.
They call that a pregnant pause in the industry. That's called a pregnant pause.
Industry. He's talking industry.
Yeah, industry. What are you talking about? I do have a quick board game quiz if you guys are so inclined. I mean, I know you guys are running late. You feel free to tell me no.
I will not tell you no.
Yeah,
I will say keep it to.
Wait till next week.
Keep it short. Yeah.
Yep. Keep it to like 10 minutes or less, and we've got plenty of time.
All right, so let's start out with the seed game. We're going to play a little bit of a board game, more or less. And so I'm going to give you a board game, that board game's component, and I'm going to give you another board game and that board game's components, and you're going to tell me whether or not the second board game's components are more or less than the seed components. So
I feel like I need the yodeling guy from the
Price is Right.
just yodeling his way up the mountain.
Yeah.
Told to stop.
Nice. Good callback.
All right, let's have the first one. Carlos can be the guinea pig here.
Yes. Where does he come up with this?
So our seed game components are the bamboo sections from Takanoko.
Okay, bamboo sections, Takanoko.
I know that one.
Right. Are there more or less tiles in Carcassonne?
Ooh.
Are there more or less tiles in Carcassonne than the bamboo sections in Takanoko?
I'm going to say there are more tiles in Carcassonne than there are bamboo sections in Takanoko.
So less is your answer then.
Wait, I don't know. I'll say it again. There are more Carcassonne tiles than there are Takanoko bamboo shoots.
Which is less, but go ahead.
Incorrect.
Oh wow!
So,
Wow, I'm stunned.
no,
I would have. I would have guessed
yep.
the other way. Yeah.
So there are more bamboo pieces than tiles. Wow. Okay.
Okay, so Rob, are there more or less development cards in Splendor than tiles in Carcassonne? More or less development cards than tiles in Carcassonne?
I'm going to say less.
Oh, no points, Rob.
No.
Wait.
Wow.
Rob, there are 3 decks of those development cards. Come on,
So there
brother.
are more development cards than there are tiles in Carcassonne.
In
Okay.
Carcassonne? Carcassonne's got a lot of tiles.
Doesn't it
Yeah,
really
but
have
not
like
more
80
than
or
the
90
freaking
tiles?
Takanoko.
Oh.
All right.
Well, it was less bamboo in Takanoko than tiles.
No, it was more.
No, it was more
more
Takanoko bamboo pieces than there were tiles in Carcassonne.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I'm stunned.
Oh no! All right, I'm confused then. But okay.
Okay, so Wayne, are there more or less encounter cards in Outer Rim than development cards in Splendor? More or less encounter cards in Outer Rim than development cards in Splendor?
With or
There
without
are-
expansion?
Without, probably. We'll do
Without.
base games. I'm going to say
Base-
there are more. There are more development cards in Star Wars Outer Rim than there are cards in. Yeah, Star Wars has more. Star Wars has more. I
Star
said
Wars
that
is
wrong.
more.
Star Wars has more.
Okay, guys, we're currently scoreless.
Oh,
Oh,
I
oh,
can't
bro.
believe that. I need. There's some hanging chads or something. I need to recount.
Look, take it up with BGG, bro.
They got those stats on BGG, huh?
No, I actually, you can take it up with my rule books. These are all
Oh.
games from my
Yeah.
There you go.
personal collection.
Oh,
you
see, you're counting what
Oh,
came
okay.
in the game. See, I've lost so many pieces. My counts are. I'm counting
You
the
just
actual
sweep
pieces I
them
have
and
left.
Some go to the
Yes,
floor.
yes, that's the sweeping the box.
This is according to the rule books. Okay.
Mhm.
Copy that. I trust you, Chester. I trust.
No,
You.
good.
All right, so we are
Yeah.
currently sitting. Wayne had
I would hope so.
less, or the facts support that Star Wars Outer Rim has less encounter cards
Right. Then
than Splendor
Splendor
has
has
development
development
cards. That's
cards.
where we last left off. All right, so now the seed game for me
Right,
is
right.
Outer Rim. Okay.
Right. And so, does Horrified have more or less item tokens than Outer Rim has encounter cards?
There are less item tokens in Horrified than there are encounter cards
There's
in
gotta be.
Outer Rim.
That's got to be right.
Come on.
All right, kid, don't get cocky. That's a point.
There you go.
I like the tie-in to the movie on there.
All right. Let's see. Oh, here we go, Rob. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so are there more resource cards in Catan or less than item tokens in Horrified? More or less resource cards in Catan than item tokens in Horrified?
Got to be more.
Gotta be more. That's a
There we go.
point.
All right. Carson's reaching for the right button there.
You saw me going
I saw
back
you
and
reaching
forth.
out
I
there,
wasn't
yeah.
sure.
All right. 1-1. Wayne, you got to get on the board or you might be out of this.
I know. Let's see. So resource cards in
Okay.
Catan.
Yep. Are there more or less? Let's see. Bird cards in Wingspan.
There's more bird cards in base Wingspan than resource cards in Catan.
Got to be.
Gotta be. That's correct.
Yeah.
I feel like we're doing that rolling SAT test we talked about, where if you get enough wrong, it starts giving you easier ones.
Helping you out a little bit.
Are there more cards in a box of Dominion than in Flip 7? I don't know.
Okay. All right, Carlos. Are there more or less occupation cards in a Feast for Odin than bird cards in Wingspan?
I've never played Feast for Odin, but Wingspan has a lot of cards. It's a heavy game. I've got to say Wingspan has more. So Feast for Odin has less.
Probably right.
Probably wrong. That's incorrect.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot of cards.
That's a lot of cards.
That's a lot of occupation cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it had a lot. But
Eat
not
your
that many,
heart
yeah.
out, Agricola.
Feast for Odin is a lot, man. That's a big game. Too many options.
Appreciation in the chat there for you, Chester. The comments coming in.
From Aaron.
Oh, okay. And
All right, Rob.
okay, let's see. All right, Rob. Now, are there more or less Meadow cards in the base game of Meadow than there are occupation cards in a Feast for Odin?
I'm going to say less.
Oh, doggone it, Rob's got another point.
Woohoo! Meadow cards and Meadow.
Okay.
All right, got to stay alive, Wayne, or Rob takes it.
All right, Wayne. Are there more or less cards in Elysium than occupation cards or no cards in Meadow? I'm sorry, cards in Meadow. Are there more or less cards in Elysium than Meadow?
Never played Elysium, never even seen it. So wild guess, there's less.
I'm going to guess less.
It is less.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Lightning round for those two gentlemen to
Just the
see
two of
who's
us.
going to be the winner.
All right, Rob's up.
Okay.
All right. All right. So let's do a. Okay. Let's go. Rob and Wayne. we'll go Rob first, then Wayne second. We're going to do a Price is Right rules. Give me the number of encounter cards in Star Wars Outer Rims expansion unfinished business.
All right, hold on. I had to go first
Star
on this
Wars
last time. And Wayne went with the 0 and 1.
What if you
All right.
comment?
Oh, okay.
Can you type
Oh,
it in?
okay.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
No,
I just-
I'll go.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah,
care.
Wayne goes first. Wayne go first. Yeah.
So it's the number of encounter cards in the expansion.
Right.
I'm
In
gonna
the
say 75.
expansion unfinished business.
75.
Okay.
75. I'll say 76.
The correct answer is 91. Rob is this week's winner.
If I had to guess, I was
Congratulations.
going to guess like 120, so I would have lost.
Okay.
But
You would've been over it,
so that's the advantage to going second in that.
It is. It's fine.
Anyway. Once again, Chester, always fun
Well-
for your game shows.
Well, I appreciate it, guys, and I appreciate what you guys are trying to do for the community, and I really appreciate the openness to talk about these subjects that some people don't want to talk about because it makes them uncomfortable or whatever, you know. But at the end of the day, we're just human beings, you know, and so just yeah.
Can't we all just get along?
Appreciate you guys.
You are appreciated, Chester.
Can't
Thanks
wait.
again.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of the evening.
You
Have a
too.
good
God
night.
bless. Bye. Another great conversation with our man Chester. Keeping this a call-in show, so multiple calls again.
Yeah, when the phone's on, it works.
Yeah. So you know, multiple weeks. I think every week this year we've had multiple calls.
Mhm.
So this is good.
Aaron says,
Aaron says Elysium is underrated.
it's a good game. I played it
Yeah,
at
I
the
never
Dice
played it.
Tower like 8 or 9 years ago. It's an older game, but it's fun.
Okay. It'll probably get a second reprint then, because everything is this year
It's
apparently.
Tom's thing, yeah, right? If it's a good game, it'll get reprinted. So
It's a lot of reprints. It's cool.
Castle's Law.
So we cleared out the
he's
news.
going
We're
back
going
Right back
he's-
into that.
Oh, he's got
OG.
something he really wants to talk about. All right,
know, he
all right.
really wants to talk
Hit it
about
up.
it.
We're running late. I haven't eaten dinner yet. Hurry up.
Okay, we'll keep
Yeah,
it quick. We'll keep it quick. For me, things that I've been watching. Rob had mentioned the Olympics last week, and he's been busy watching a lot of that. I jumped in this week, and there's been a lot of curling going on. Really enjoying that. But man, did you see that Canada?
Oh,
Yes.
the controversy. Yeah, the finger.
The finger of
Oh,
God,
no,
they called it.
Did you actually so like they were playing Sweden, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Did you hear the
right.
full breakdown?
No, well, the camera angle that actually shows
That's what I'm talking about.
was Sweden themselves. So
Oh, really?
Sweden, yeah. So you didn't hear this. So Sweden believes that Canada cheats all the time,
Yes.
and they know that like in curling they always do the forward on, and backwards shots. They never look this way. So
There are no
Sweden
official cameras.
there are no official
on the
cameras
side, Rob.
on the side.
Really?
So Sweden convinced a Swedish TV show, the Swedish news, to put a camera there so they would catch it on film.
Finger.
Finger.
So
gate.
then the problem was Canada lost their cool through an F bomb, so they
Yep.
got reprimanded for the F bomb,
F-bomb, but not for
right?
the finger. Yeah.
but they could not reprimand them for the finger because it's not an official camera. They
But
can't
now you know there's
change
going to
any
be
game
be a
outcome.
goal line camera for
no change to the rules. Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, this is
Perfect.
huge.
Apparently
Well-
they've been doing it a lot.
Was that as big as Bulgegate? I mean, come on, Bulgegate's a.
Bulgegate, what's that?
You don't
I
know
was
Bulgegate?
watching ski
Oh
jumping.
my. Yeah,
Okay, so in ski jumping, right?
Okay.
They
Yeah,
they
yeah.
do the ski jump, and that's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the qualifying, right? How far you can fly is your qualifying for the
Right.
race that's going to happen. Well, apparently, folks were manipulating the size of the package area for the gentlemen to create lift.
More lift.
More
Okay.
lift.
It's more a surface area, so you can
Yeah,
get
yeah.
a bigger suit, and they actually have been doing injections. For
Well, no,
years.
that's the new thing because
Yeah.
they were able to tell when suits were modified. They can check the suit
Mhm.
for modifications, like, oh, this
Sure.
has been padded, right?
Right.
They stiffen this area up.
Yep.
So what the new rumor is that the gentlemen are doing injections
Yep.
to their boy parts in order to enlarge
Get
them
more
to
surface
create
area.
a bulge,
Yeah.
and there's really no way to test for that right now. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys see the dog that ran
Yes.
the cross country race?
What was his name of that dog? It was
Nazgul.
Nazgul. That's it. Yeah.
Really?
Nazgul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did
so
not
there was
see
a
that.
cross country race, and the guys are coming across the finish line, and this dog just takes like
It was from
Just
a
follow.
local what was it? It's from a local library or something. It was it's like a stray dog that
got
they've been
out.
taking care of, and it got loose and was running down the course
Yep.
right behind the three medal winners. And
I actually
I guess
watched. Yeah,
I guess I
that.
didn't see it, but Nick was telling me about it last night while we were doing Frosthaven.
It was
That
fun.
after they finished and fell down on the ground, they're all exhausted and stuff. This dog comes running up in their face and is like licking them, and they're like, "Ah!"
No, what the dog went right into someone's ass.
Oh, did it really? No.
Like those
Yeah.
skiers come across. I'm like, ooh,
They
that
didn't know
smells
what the
good.
hell was going on because they're exhausted. They're on the ground just gasping
Yeah.
for breath, and this dog comes running up. It's like, hold on, we're at the Olympics and a dog is running free. So yeah,
Yeah, I've got kind of the Olympics playing during the day while working on
all
both
day.
TVs.
all day.
Mike,
Today
you're
was-
never late for Wienergate.
Oh, yeah. It's always in the middle of Wiener.
Mike is not only a member, he's the president.
Yeah.
I did watch. I'll say this positively. I watched the U.S. women's hockey game
Oh,
today.
what a
The
game that
gold,
was.
Gold medal match
What
versus
a
Canada.
game.
What a game!
Came back,
I missed it.
scored with
Because we
with
beat
2
them
minutes
like
left.
5-0 in the qualifying
Qualifiers,
rounds. We
yeah.
killed them, and in this game they played really well, and it was 1-0 Canada until 2 minutes left, and we pulled our goalie with 2 minutes to go, which was crazy. I thought that's way too early. Scored
Yeah,
the tying
normal
goal, went into overtime, scored the game winner in overtime.
yeah, we
USA?
won it. Yep,
USA,
USA
yep.
won.
Whoop whoop.
Oh, then
And the
the
USA women won
figure
the
skating.
figure
Yeah, do you know
skating.
her whole story? I mean, that's an
Yeah,
incredible
she retired
story.
and came out of retirement, right?
She was a teen prodigy. She was the best in the world at like 14 years old, and it was taking over her life. There was too much pressure, and she just completely flat out walked away. She said, "I quit. I'm not." She was the number one in
For
the
years,
world.
right? A couple
Yeah.
years. Right?
Oh yeah, 2.5 years, and then her family took a trip. It was a family vacation to Italy, of all places, about 2.5 years ago, and they went skating just as a family thing. And she had just an epiphany. She's like, you know what? I'm going to come back. I enjoy this. I'm not going to have any pressure. I'm not going to let it take over my life. She was the number one, cited to be the number one for the next 20 years, you know, the best skater in the world. And she came back, and she's only been doing it back for about 2 years. And after taking 2.5 years off, and she wins gold. So incredible.
Yeah, it was a really cool story.
And she's only like 19 years old. She's got years to go, more Olympics. And yeah, she was so watching her skate and stuff. She just was having fun. She didn't look tense. She was jumping around afterwards. She's a very a millennial type kid. She's got actually painted on her teeth. She's got 2 devil's horns, and she's
Her hair. Half
her hair is
black,
multicolors.
hair's multicolored.
Yeah, I
half
mean, it's
black, half whatever.
does not look like your typical figure skater. She's a kid of the new generation, and
not even millennial. You realize millennials are like 30 and 40 years old.
Right,
I'm a
that's like
millennial.
my generation.
Gen X, Gen Z, Gen Y, whatever they're on now.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is.
iPad kids.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah,
just-
it's cool. I enjoy the Olympics. You know,
Well,
like,
which one do y'all
for-
enjoy more, like the Summer Olympics or the Winter
So
Olympics?
I enjoy summer more because there's more events and cool. Like I like some of the
Summer's
events
more.
in that. 'Cause
yeah.
you got soccer, you got not baseball anymore because they did away with it. But
Japan, when we had Japan,
Yeah,
we
we
had
had to come
baseball.
back.
That was
Yeah.
good.
Baseball may come back too.
May
So, I mean,
come back,
it's on
yeah.
and off. Football, flag football.
because winter is smaller and not every country, obviously, like Nigeria and South Africa aren't really going to have big teams in the Winter Olympics. But I like the luge and I like curling and hockey.
Puerto Rico had was it 2 athletes? I
Two
think
athletes,
Puerto
right?
Rico?
Yeah, Puerto
something
Rico
like
too,
that.
yeah.
So-
And I saw the Jamaican bobsled team, which
Mhm.
I
Came
always
back,
laugh
which is
every
great.
time I see that.
Yep, they were there. Yep.
So
With
I
Snoop
like
Dogg.
some of those events. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if she won, but it was cool. There was a cross country skier, like the biathlon where they cross country
And
and
shoot.
then they have to
And
shoot.
I love that.
Yeah,
I was just
That's
watching a
cool.
lot of that.
and there was a Ukrainian woman, and she was just nailing it, boom, 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 and I'm like,
Yeah, but you see them, they're sweating, they're
Oh, yeah, yeah.
drooling.
But
because
in
they're
my head,
so
I'm
exhausted.
In my head,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, man, the Russian military must be happy that she's at the Olympics.
Oh, yeah. You're picking them off out in the field. Yeah.
Because that's where she's going. She gets back.
Yeah, maybe.
No,
Unfortunately,
I've been enjoying the Olympics, so I'm glad Rob reminded me of that. It's been taking up a lot of my TV, a lot more TV time than I expected.
all
So
day, every
other
day
than
for
that,
me.
that's not much else going on the OGG for me. So I did want to touch on something OGG.
Yeah, the only 2 quick ones that I want to bring up. I think I don't. Did I bring up the Muppet Show? The
did.
revival of the Muppet Show.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I did
Mhm.
bring that. You got to watch that. And then the Pit, season 2 of the Pit, so good.
Never watched it.
So good.
Is it
It
good?
is. Yeah, you have to. It's if you like medical dramas, but this is the best of all of them because it's like 24.
Yeah.
So it's like
Which
remember
network?
24. It's HBO.
HBO.
Yeah, I remember you told us about it before, but yeah, I still haven't watched
Season
it
2
yet.
is just as good, and so like each season is 12 episodes or whatever, and it's a 12-hour shift, and so it's like 8 a.m. to 9 and 9 to 10, and it's like oh my god, it's exhausting. But it's such a good show. So
Well, I got to get ready for Apple TV coming up soon because Liberty Media, the company that owns F1 Racing, and all the rights for F1 Racing, has made a deal with Apple TV that Apple TV will be the provider of F1 for 2026. So I have to get an Apple TV subscription to be able to watch F1.
Poor you,
Carlos. That's going to open you up to.
That's what I said. I got the
whole
OTT is
other
going to blow up.
world. Yeah, there
Ted
you go.
Lasso, For All Mankind.
But Rob, look into all the craziness going on in F1 right now with the new cars. It is not working. It is broken. They
Really?
went to this 50-50 engine and motor, electric motor and engine with a small battery. The battery dies in 11 seconds.
Wow. Well, that's
11
useless.
seconds. So
What the
you have to regen your battery with the engine, which reduces you like 30 miles an hour.
With fuel, yeah.
So you're spending a majority of the lap in recharge mode at slow speeds. The cars are crashing into each other. The starts are bad. It's going to be a crazy year. So if you're an F1 fan like I am, we're looking forward to this crazy year. It's going to be just chaos. It went from playing Heat to playing Thunder Road Vendetta. That's what it's going to be like. So
Well, we'll see.
that's my
See how it plays
OGG.
out. Yep.
Pressure, the trailer for Pressure. I put a link to that in my Carlitos Claptrap. Which I think we need to make one for Rob's ramblings, where Rob can post up whatever random
Weird
thoughts
stuff.
Rob has, and maybe some Wayne's rants.
Yeah.
If we create a couple of those channels where you can just post up. My thought behind it is it's not board game stuff; it's just things that Carlos wants to post up there that's like random. So of course, Wayne and Rob, I'd love to see that.
Take it from Carlos's Claptrap just to be like community Claptrap. Just post your non.
Yeah,
And, it's kind of a place for me to like have a stream of consciousness, like anything that kind of hits my mind that I want to share and see if anybody else is interested in it. That's where I've been throwing that stuff. So Pressure and Mando trailers are in that channel. Pressure looks really good. World War II, from the perspective of the meteorologist that were trying to advise the Ike in deciding when to go for D-Day.
My only problem, I love Brendan Fraser. He doesn't remind me of Ike very much. Ike wasn't like a big dude. Or maybe
No, he was skinnier than that because he kind of still looks like the whale here.
Yeah. It's like, but it's great. I'm all about Brendan Fraser getting back into it. So,
yeah. And then the Mando, the last trailer that I saw at the Super Bowl with like the sled and the sleigh kind of turned me off a little bit, but they got me back in this next trailer. I see from Rebels, what's his name? With the
Zeb.
feet. Yes, I see Zeb.
Oh,
So I'm starting to get a little excited about Mando coming out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then Hail Mary Project coming up March 22nd. I think it is.
Why that does not.
Wayne doesn't. Yeah, not doing it for Wayne. I'm excited about that one. That one looks good.
My son's trying to get tickets right now. He's like, they're going on sale tomorrow. So tickets go on sale tomorrow for Hail Mary Project. Too bad I'll be at work in North Carolina for that trial. So I had to spend a whole week up there. So I won't be able to watch it with them. But I hear IMAX is going to be amazing.
Yeah. And my son, my youngest, wanted to go through the Star Wars because he'd seen some of them, but he hasn't seen all the Star Wars movies. And I realized as we hit Solo, I have never seen that one. So unfortunately, I fell asleep halfway through
Pretty
it.
good.
Solo?
I got to watch the second half again.
I'm
A little underrated. I think Solo is underrated.
I
think
agree.
I think if they let Ron Howard direct it from the beginning, because Ron Howard took over about halfway through filming. If they let him start it and do it the whole way, I think it would have been a much better movie because the first two idiots were just morons. But I think he
Tell us how
saved
you
it.
really feel.
Yeah.
Well, they were morons.
And I gave up on Bransan, book 3.
Oh,
I'm
really?
about 27 hours left, and I can't do it anymore. I just can't do it anymore. So I have moved on to listening to
Quitter.
Dungeon Crawler Carl Book 2. So Mike from One Mike One Game will know that. Dungeon Crawler Carl. I've moved on to Book 2, where they are at level 3. The audiobook is very different for me than reading the actual book, because in the book, like it has, there's like a narrator thing, right? video game narrator effectively, and they do these voices for the audiobooks. I'm trying to get like into it. I know Mike listened to book one, so I'm just listening to the first time, hearing those voices. I'll report back. More importantly, though, One Mic, One Game has one phone, and he uses it on Tuesday nights on One Mic, One Game. I think it's every other Tuesday.
They had a show this Tuesday while we were playing Pandemic. So,
Oh, okay.
Yep. So be sure to check out One Mic, One Game. Click on the link, go to their YouTube, hit subscribe, and hit the alert so you're also alerted when they go live for their call-in show on Tuesday nights. Big friends of the show, founding member, our IT guy, effectively, for the longest time in helping us fix computers and stuff and get this thing going.
All right. That take us to the end.
That is it.
cleared the board.
Woo!
We cleared the board. All right, folks. Make sure you check us out on the Discord. There's a link in the bio. Join our comments section. You can talk to us about the call-in show. You can send articles to the In the News channel of articles that you want us to talk about that we'll bring up here in the show. You can follow the crazy crap that comes out of my brain on the Carlos Claptrap channel, where just like random thoughts show up there. Email me at beansanddice@gmail.com with your comments or thoughts and even your prayer requests. I really do. I've been enjoying praying for you folks specifically who have sent me prayer requests. On Sundays when I'm at church, I'm making sure to go through that list and praying for folks that have asked for it. It feels good to know that I'm giving back to the community that gives us so much. So I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Wayne.
And we've been the Beans and Dice Podcast.
Thanks for watching the Beans and Dice Podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Good night.
Somebody call over to Mike's show. He hasn't had a phone call yet.
I will do it, yeah. He's got to shut that cat up first.